Tougher than a Teflon. All the dope I stepped on. Real, get the rush gone. Been that nigga, what else you want? Power, powder, respect. I want that money and power and powder. Money and powder and power. Money and powder and power.
That paper, yeah, I gotta stack that. Them diamonds keep blinking, we might have to jack that. Now boy, when that blicky come out, you get clap backs. Throw down with a little joint, I'm at you like pat. Come back when them candles out round your block and kick that. Come back when your funeral in progress and hit that. Hit your back to back, your bitch ass won't even hit back. Yeah, we splashing in fashion. Nigga, you could drink the drip, catch you slipping, we sliding. Your niggas on some different shit, we hit the lick, we with the shit. Shh. When you get hit, quiet down. No need for the talking, the fuck is that about?
Tougher than a Teflon. All the dope I stepped on. Real, get the rush gone. Been that nigga, what else you want? Power, powder, respect. I want that money and power and powder. Money and powder and power. Money and powder and power.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of the Budget Cut Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Brought to you by Dope Content and MT Darkness. We are live here on Christmas Day, a special Christmas episode. This is also our last episode of 2022, so it's going to be a special one. We are doing our best of 2022, and when I tell you this was very hard to do, to come up with these lists. It was very hard to come up with these lists, but we're going to get right into it. D-Web is ready to talk shit about them. Eagles cry. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I wouldn't even go say nothing because it was Christmas. I was going to let Dark slide today.
That's fine.
Dark did a lot of talking.
13-2. 13-2. That's fine. That's fine.
That's
13-2. That's
fine. Great. 13-2. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We one of those two. It would have been 3 if Dak wasn't hurt in week 6. I'm just saying.
Oh, well.
Yeah. If he wasn't hurt in week 6, it would have been 3. That's all I'm saying. Because Dak owns the NFC East, but I'll save it for Tony hating ass on Tuesday. Because he needs to be worrying about his Bucks, but he's always talking about my team. His team got 6 wins. Like, why are you talking about my team every day? But we can't even enjoy a win, dog. We can't even enjoy a win. And here he comes. Yeah, well, your team doesn't. So what? We got 11 wins. You got 6. We're locked into the playoffs right now. Like, you're not. You know what I'm saying? See, yes. Here you go. I knew he was coming. That's why I started on them Bucks. I knew he was here. So I knew he was here. That's why we started on them Bucks. I knew it. But special episode today. This is episode I would need you guys to join the show. Even if you don't join, we're gonna need you to put your rankings in the chat because we're doing the best of 2022. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna miss something. I'm pretty sure Dark might miss something. It's a lot of wrestling that happens, and it's a lot of different companies to go through. So, and knowing what Dark watches the most and what I watch the most, I changed my list up a little bit just to not get to Dark's list because I know Dark is going to probably bring a completely different type of list from what I'm bringing. So, yeah, man, it was tough to get this stuff done, but we're gonna get into it. And let me find that link so I can add it to the chat for you guys. Sean Spears #1 return. Get out of here, Lizard. Dude, you're not winning any more games on Madden, Tony. Trust me, I let you win because I gave you the Texans. Like,
oh boy, he beat you.
Oh yeah, I played him with the Texans.
Oh man.
He got lucky, and he got lucky still.
Get the tables, winning games out here. Oh man.
Yeah, he's all right. Yeah, I seen all I needed to see in that one game. He won't win another game. He say Merry Christmas, Get the Tables. Make sure y'all follow Get the Tables. That is our guy right there, man. On Twitch, doing this thing. And once again, if you want to join the show, the link is now posted there for you guys to join. Before we get into our best of, let's do a quick recap. We're not gonna go over everything. Let me just ask you this: what did you like about each show this week, and what did you not like about each show this week in wrestling?
Oh, good Lord. Oh man, I was not ready for this actually. The funny thing is I've been thinking about these lists so much that I haven't really been paying attention too much to the week in wrestling. Give me 1 second. What were you gonna say?
I literally had to watch every show. I pretty much watched every show in a day and a half because I was in Mexico all the way up until Thursday, and then I got stuck in Houston up until Friday. So I literally watched Raw and NXT at the same time, and then I just, depending on who was doing a promo, I turned one screen up and the other screen down, and etc. So I got through those. Noob, what's good, man? Shout out to Noob.
Well, pretty much for WWE, I just liked all the stuff that they were doing with the Bloodline, and I like the stuff that they did with Rollins and what's his name, Austin Theory. It looked like they teased they were gonna team up for a little bit, but then they Austin Theory just started to run and let what's his name, Rollins get attacked. Yeah. So yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, all this stuff they keep doing with the Bloodline and Kevin Owens, I really like. And that promo that Sammy gave was really, really interesting. Because I like how he brought it back to the fact that Kevin Owens said he was done with him, and that was the thing that kind of bugged him the most. That their careers have been interlocking with each other for so long, and now he's just saying that he's done. So I like that. I like that a lot. So, and then he stepped in front of Roman to deliver his speech too, which I thought was interesting. So I don't think he's gonna let that fly for too much longer. But I like that. On AEW, I loved Rick Ross. That was my favorite part of the show. Seeing Rick Rockbass on the show, that was hilarious. Oh my goodness. It wasn't as good as the first time, but I really enjoyed it, and I like that they're giving Swerve his own faction now. Even though Parker Boudreaux kind of acted like a maniac. Horrible. Yeah, he was acting like a cokehead when he was hitting Keith Lee. Yeah, Moxley too. Moxley against Top Flight, that was dope. You said the Alexa thing. We ain't gonna talk about that. It's just
man.
Bray Wyatt. I'm glad to see. But speaking of Alexa and Bray, I'm glad to see, Dope, that you've come around to my side of thinking now.
Yeah, I'm starting to get there, and that's crazy because it's like I'm more interested in what they're doing with Alexa than what they're actually doing with Bray.
Mm-hmm.
And Bray is like the main guy behind everything. So, but I'd rather see what they're doing with Alexa versus what they're doing with Bray. Like Friday was it for me. I was like, okay, you just randomly attack the cameraman, then you're gone again. Like, I don't even think he said anything. He said the same thing, actually. Yes, he was like, I don't know why you guys like me so much. And
the same thing he's been saying for weeks.
Yeah, I'm so nervous when I'm out here talking to you guys. And I'm just so humble. And then all of a sudden he just attacked the cameraman, and then that was it. No follow up on LA Knight or nothing.
It's lame as hell.
Yeah, man, Lizzo, she clocked Bianca. Bianca fell down like a damn Family Guy character when she fell. And then what? I busted out laughing. I ain't gonna lie, cause I hate this stupid doll, but I busted out laughing when I saw Lily peeking from behind the chair after Bianca got nailed. I was like, oh my god, that was.
Bro, this is just terrible. Oh god, I can't with this. Holy smokes,
bro, that was hilarious. Lily was literally peeking behind the chair, Lizzie. If you go back and watch it, when Bianca went down, you'll see Lily head behind the chair. And I started laughing so hard when I saw that. I'm like, I know Dark hated this, but it was so funny to me, dog. Like, I had a Vince McMahon evil laugh when I saw Lily, bro, because I'm like, this is some trolling shit right here.
That's what it is. That's all it is.
He said, can Bray just wrestle already?
Oh,
yeah, don't expect that no time. So you probably want to see Bray wrestle his first match to WrestleMania.
They will too. Wow, dude, they actually will. Oh my god,
they are slow burning the hell out of this.
They are gonna wait until Mania. That is exactly what they're waiting for, and that's sad as hell. Because I don't want to wait that long for a match. All this for a match, just a match. It's not gonna be great either. It's not gonna be fucking Omega or Okada. It's not gonna be Michaels or Brett. It's not gonna be fucking, you know what I'm talking about. It's not gonna be Austin or The Rock. This is just gonna be a Bray Wyatt match. This is what this is leading up to. Good lord.
Yeah. I mean, again, I said it last week. I'm gonna say it again. If this doesn't work out with Bray Wyatt this time around, do not get mad at WWE. They are giving Bray Wyatt everything he's asking for. They are taking it at his pace. They're doing everything this man want to do. So
yeah, yes. Get the tables. I did see that. Did you see that, Dope?
I started watching it and I got distracted with my kids, but I heard that he called the cops. Rey Mysterio called the cops.
Yeah, he started cracking up at the end of it when he's just like, what did he say at the end? He's just like, he's like, I won't last long if I go to prison. And he could see him start cracking up after he said that.
Wow. I'm gonna have to go watch it there. I'm gonna have to go watch it there because I didn't finish watching it. That's crazy.
Oh my god, that's funny.
He say, "Mommy, bail me out."
Yeah.
Things that stood out for me. Indy Hartwell lost to Electra Lopez. I didn't really like that on NXT. I did love the Kaden Carter and Katana Chance versus. I love their finish in that match, in that tag title match, because Avi now had Kaden in that chokehold, and Kaden found a way to escape and get that pin. So I did love the finish to that. They are escaping. I don't know what's next for them because they really beat everybody in the division already. Carmelo Hayes and Axiom had a great match on NXT. As far as AEW, I didn't even finish watching Rampage. I ain't gonna lie to you. Didn't finish watching Rampage.
Neither did I. That's fine.
But Noob say Indy Hartwell needs to go to the main roster like yesterday. Yeah, I mean,
I'm afraid if that happens, honestly.
Oh, speaking of,
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say the main roster is starting to get too many people, but go ahead.
Speaking of Miami, I did like Rhea Ripley beating Tozawa. That was funny. I wish Tozawa would have got more offensive. But I understand they still doing the PG thing. He said that Melo and Cruz promo, that's gonna be a fire match. The promo, I really don't care for the promos with Apollo Crews like that. The whole I had a vision type of thing, but that's gonna be a match. Ricky Starks got the promo of the week easily.
I was gonna say Dynamite. Yeah, Ricky. I was waiting for you to finish, but yeah, Ricky Starks fucking killed it this week. Good lord, he's been on a roll the past couple of weeks, man. That was nuts.
Yeah, that was definitely the moment of
that was like I was with the way he was dressed and the way he was talking. It felt for a second we took a time machine and I was watching The Rock back in like the early 90s. I was like, holy smokes, this is crazy.
He did the damn Chris Jericho walk when he started talking. And that alone made me laugh because I was like, bro, he hit that walk perfect. That's exactly how Jericho be walking to the ring. Told that fool he was built like a damn air fryer back in the day. He's like, yeah, nah, Ricky Starks he's dope on the mic. I hope they keep using him, keep building him up, letting him do these promos, man. Because he already showed he could go back and forth with the best when he went back and forth with MJF and then followed up with Chris Jericho. I mean, come on, man. So hopefully they keep using Starks in a good way like that. But that was hilarious. Starks is the man.
Happy
Sammy
holidays,
had a good promo.
Man. Happy holidays. Happy holidays, KM also. My bad.
Sammy had a good promo, like you said earlier. So that was cool. SmackDown, I'm trying to remember what happened on Smack outside of the Bray Wyatt thing that we didn't like.
KM says biggest ass of the year goes to Nikita Lyons. I don't think anybody's gonna beat her for that.
Yeah, I don't think that was
Elektra Lopez, I mean, was in the runnings, but I mean, yeah, Nikita's got her beat too.
Yeah, Nikita, she had a match with Zoe Stark and she lost.
Oh, I thought you were gonna talk. Are we talking about Cake Gift match of the year right now with Nikita and what's her name? Kaden Carter? That might have been the Cake Gift match of the year. I
should have made that a category, but it's not a category. I should have made that a category. I didn't even think about it.
Next year.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
I'm trying to think what else happened, man, before we get into these rankings for the best of 2022.
Ricochet finally kissed his girl on TV. That did happen, yes. It gave him a. Oh yeah, he was getting his ass whooped. His girlfriend kissed him, and then all of a sudden he started actually wrestling.
You know what? You know why I don't remember SmackDown? Because I didn't finish watching the damn show. I didn't finish watching SmackDown or Rampage Friday. Now that I think about it.
Oh shit. Golly.
No, I did watch SmackDown. I don't remember that match though. I remember a part where the New Day came out. Was it that match? They came out like a box as the Nutcrackers or something like that. Was it doing that tag match with Braun and Ricochet?
Yes, that one. Yeah.
That's the only thing I remember about that match. So I don't know. SmackDown's a blur. That's what happens though when you have jet lag and you're watching everything literally in a day. So like it all ran together. But I did want to catch up with everything. Good win for Bayley, beating Becky Lynch this week. That was cool, I guess. Bayley is starting to rack these wins up again. So I appreciate that. New Day defended their tag titles against Jensen and what's his guy name? Briggs. That was actually a good match. The crowd was into it. I was shocked. That was a pretty good match. I don't think nothing else stands out. Anything else stands out for you?
No, not really. You said Bayley and Becky gonna feud, and oh, jeez.
Oh well, yeah, that's coming. You know what else stood out? Emma got pinned first in that damn gauntlet match. Why they bring her back?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. It's ridiculous, dude. What the hell?
And ridiculous. It seems they're finally trying to build Xia Li up again. They had her run through a couple of people, but yeah, Emma was first to get pinned. It's like, why? I don't understand this
WWE's starting to. I don't know. It's like they've taken the. It's like they've taken the AEW approach, except with AEW, they're starting Ring of Honor. We'll see if they get rid of this talent and push them over there, which would be good. So if that is what they do, that's great. WWE already has 3 rosters right now, and they're starting to feel bloated. Like, I'm starting to get to the point where, like, it's like you have a whole roster of people in NXT, which that's supposed to be your developmental, which means that those people are going to move up to your main roster. Like, those people need to be pushed up at some point, but where are they going to go when you have no space already? You keep bringing more people back, so what are you going to do with all these developmental talents? Like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, Emma came back to take pin after pin after pin, just kind of like Candice LeRae is doing right now. She's doing the same thing, taking pin after pin. It's just like, okay. I don't think Emma has won a match yet since she's been back.
You might be right.
She started off losing to Ronda.
I can't think of a single match that she's won. She might have won one match. Maybe did she beat Xia Li?
She lost Zaya Friday.
No, not recently. I'm saying did she beat Xia Li like on maybe her second match or something?
No, we didn't see Xia Li till she came back and attacked Tegan Knox last week.
Well, all right. Yeah, I have no idea. Probably she might not have. Hold on a second. Let me check and see.
Because I don't remember her getting a win at all. Which is crazy. And a lot of people are mad. A lot of people are mad at Jonah, aka Bronson Reed, coming back to the WWE. It's like, oh man, you playing the Miz lackey. It's like
yeah, she's only been in 3 matches.
She lost all of them.
And she's lost every single one. Lost to Ronda, lost to Ronda and Shayna, and then lost to what is it? And then she lost in that gauntlet match.
Yeah, first one get pinned. A lot of people are mad at Bronson Reed, aka Jonah, for coming back. He's like, why would you go back to WWE to be the Miz lackey? These are comments I've seen. Why would you go back to be the Miz lackey when you was killing it in New Japan and Impact and all that? I'm like, do y'all understand that as an independent wrestler, it's hard doing these 3-month contracts here, 3-month contracts here, spot dates. Like a lot of people go to WWE and AEW just for the stability of it. And Jonah, some people just want to be in WWE and some people just want to be in AEW. That's just their hopes and dreams. Like everybody don't want to go to Japan all the time and Impact and all that stuff. Like they just do it because it's another job for them. And
I think that Jonah I think New Japan just dropped the ball. I think that New Japan had plans for Jonah, but they just didn't have the funds like WWE did in order to secure a Jonah in this situation. That's what I believe, because they were pushing Jonah very heavily. You don't get a win over Okada in Japan unless you've got plans, and they gave him that. TMDK was brought back in the tag league, so the thought was that Jonah was going to start something with them after the tag league was over, but they never signed Jonah that entire time, and now we know why. I'm sure that whatever they would have offered him, Triple H he wanted him, so he got him. So
like literally, Jonah was the first person that I asked about on the show when we saw Triple H started bringing people back. Like, if y'all need to see the clips, y'all know I would go find it. Like, one of the first questions I asked that, and Dark agreed, was like, hey, how long do you think it is before he brings back Bronson Reed? It's on the show. We talked about it. So it's not a surprise to see him back. It was a surprise to see him back at the timing. I didn't think he would come back this soon, but it wasn't a surprise for me to see him back.
I just didn't like the segment that he was in. That was all. I also I felt bad because he didn't get much of a reaction. That kind of hit me hard too. I was just like, good Lord. And Bronson Reed isn't a joke. Like, he's gonna have to be built up like a monster, and that's what kind of worries me. Is this is just like a comedy program that he's been put into. So
King says, sounds like Cap, go find a clip. Bitch, I will. I will, just for you.
Oh,
now,
shit.
Trust me, I will. And I'm going to tag your ass and I'm going to call you all type of cuss words when I post it. How about that?
KM says, you go from place to place. It takes a toll on your body and mind. It gets stressful. It's true.
Exactly.
It's true.
So all the independent, fans is, oh my God, I can't believe he went back to WWE. You mad at WWE? Like, bro, you don't know what they got to go through just to secure these spots. They got to do New Japan for 2 weeks. They got to do Impact for another 2 weeks. Then they got to do indie shows all throughout the week. Like, yo, people don't want to do that all the time. Doesn't sound brand friendly. Yeah, 2023, I'm finna be on y'all ass. Don't care about none of that no more. So, but I hope y'all having a good Christmas, except King punk ass. And yeah, let's start getting into these lists, man. Hold on, let me read this comment. I'm happy he went back, had a huge potential. Yeah, my only thing is the main roster crowd don't really know these NXT guys like that.
It's my problem. That's what I was saying. Just said it. They didn't. He got no reaction on Monday. Absolutely none.
Yeah.
Max messaged me like about it, and as soon as he did, I went and checked it out, and I was popping. I saw that Jonah was there. I was like, well, that's dope, but it was quiet. It was quiet.
Nobody cared about the match that was happening though. So that's, again, like you said, it was a bad segment to put him in because nobody cared about. It was a ladder match, dude, and people didn't care.
I don't think you should have just put him. I don't think you should have put him in that program. I think you should have just brought him out to have a match or something like that. Just have him kill some guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Triple H will find something to do with him, but yeah, nobody cared about the match. I guess he thought that Jonah was gonna like provide a spark to the match with the crowd, but a lot of the main roster crowd don't watch NXT, or they didn't watch NXT back in the day. So that's the problem. So, and that's why Vince felt like he could just take these guys and change their names and gimmicks like he did, because he's like, oh well, shit, people didn't watch NXT anyway. That was his thought process behind it. That's why you got Bearcat and the sex slave gladiator from
Noob, what do you mean you said the only NXT superstar to get a reaction was Asuka? What you talking about? That don't make no sense.
Yeah, that's false. Definitely false.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, definitely false. But I don't know what order this is in, so we're just gonna click a video.
Oh shit!
And whatever pops up, that's what we're gonna start with. So let's get to the first one. All right, the first list: top 5 tag teams of 2022. Top 5 tag teams. Guys, feel free to join the show. It is pinned on Twitch. On Twitch. I think it is pinned on YouTube as well, but if not, just let me know. I will send a link again. If you got a top 5 tag team list for 2022, either leave comments. This is your chance to give us what you got, or you can join the show. So, who want to start? You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I can. I'll start with this one. You can start the next one.
All right, bet.
All right. All right. So, my top 5 tag teams. I started out at number 5 with the Aussie Open. So this was a hard team to slot, I guess, in the last spot. But this team is like a brand new team that I've been watching this year, and they joined the United Empire, Will Ospreay's faction in New Japan, and they have just been making a killing every place that they've gone. They've had dope matches in Impact. They had dope matches over in New Japan, competing in their tag division. Had a match of the year contender against FTR in London, which was a really, really, really dope match. And I don't know why New Japan didn't have a rematch set for Wrestle Kingdom, because that seemed like a no-brainer. But when you think about the politics, it makes sense. Yeah, Aussie Open has just been killing it in a lot of their matches. So yeah, I just had to give them a spot on this top 5 list, and they're my top 5 team of the year. At number 4, I have the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks, I feel like I couldn't really slot them higher. Normally, with the team that I'll talk about later, normally, I feel like when wrestlers don't wrestle as much, I kind of knock them down a peg. But I'll get into the reason why they're ranked higher than the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks, even though they've been wrestling a lot this year, they only were off in October and January. But it seems like a lot longer because of all this shit. Yes. They wrestled every month this year. I went on Cage Match and looked it up. Yeah. But it seems like a lot longer because of all of this nonsense that's been happening with the Elite and CM Punk and all of this drama. I think that really kind of brought down their stock to some people's eyes. Not so much in the fact of their just in the sense that when you talk about the Young Bucks, I guess in 2022, you more so are centered around that one thing at All Out rather than everything else, because they've been pretty consistent. They had a really good 3-way match at Fyter Fest with Luchasaurus and Swerve in Our Glory, where Swerve in Our Glory won. They had a great ladder match with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. They've had like other really good matches this year, but kind of all of it gets swept under the rug when you talk about the Young Bucks and Larry and Ace Steel biting people and throwing chairs. Like, it kind of all just gets kind of swept under the rug. But the Young Bucks, I think they did have a really good year. And when they came back the first time, they were just, oh my God, that first comeback that they had was fantastic. The second one was really dope too. And I think they're going to finish off 2022 strong. But yeah, I put them at number 4 on my tag team list. Number 3, I put the Briscoes. And like I was saying before, normally when a tag team doesn't wrestle, or any wrestler doesn't wrestle as often, their stock kind of goes, or their placement for me goes down on a list. But I honestly believe that the Briscoes and another team that's on this list had some of the best tag team matches of the year. And they were so good. This trilogy of matches was so good that it just automatically elevates them up a peg for me. So I had to keep the Briscoes at number 3. Not only did they have these matches, but while they were without a home, out of ROH, they were still wrestling in the independents, like Hard for House of Glory and GCW. They were wrestling in Impact for like a hot cup of coffee before going and getting re-signed to Ring of Honor. So I wish the best of luck for 2023. I want to see where they go with I want to see where they go with Ring of Honor. Now that they're new tag team champions. Number 2, I had to give it to the Usos, the longest reigning WWE tag team champions. These guys deserve it. These guys have been carrying the tag team division on the main roster. So there was no other even WWE tag team I thought that I could put on this list that would compare to them. These guys have just been the ones running the show. Without the Usos, this entire division is pretty much in trouble. They're a staple of the tag team. They're a pillar in this tag team division. You have the Usos. You have the New Day. Who else?
Street Profits.
Street Profits. RK Bro. Well, had RK Bro, but those were like the 4 teams I would say that were like really keeping you like stable. And one by one, all these teams will get hurt. The Usos have been here the entire year, so the Usos have to stay at number 2, and they've been the champions all year, putting on great matches at all these shows. So Usos at number 2. Number 1, by process of elimination, FTR. It was not even close for me. I don't understand how the PWI list made the Usos. Like, shout out to the Usos, but FTR has just been having a insane year. Like, their matches have been fantastic. They've been winning gold in 3 different promotions at once. I just don't understand how they didn't get that. How they didn't get Team of the Year, because that seems crazy to me. But this is our show, so I'm gonna give them Tag Team of the Year because they fucking deserve it. These guys were phenomenal. Not only that, Dax Hardwood's singles matches have been fucking crazy. Every single one he's had, with Adam Cole, with Punk, with who was the one, Bryan Danielson. All of these matches have been just insanely good. So FTR, absolutely best tag team of 2022. So, and that is my top 5.
All right, there it is. Give us a quick rundown again in order.
All right, number 5, we had the Aussie Open. Number 4, we had the Young Bucks. Number 3, we had the Briscoes. Number 2, we had the Usos. And at number 1, we had FTR.
All right, there it is. That's the top 5. Ty said he got gifted a punching bag, so King watch out. Oh,
KM, Cam said his list is Aussie Open at number 5, New Day, Acclaimed, Usos, and then FTR. There you go. Shout out to the Acclaimed. Everybody loves them.
All right. So my 5 in order. Number 5. I can't believe I even put them on here, but I got to give them credit for what they did this year because they've been on 3 major promotions. Got to give it to the Good Brothers at number 5.
Mm-hmm.
They played a key role on AEW earlier. They played a key role in Impact earlier, and now they're playing roles on Monday Night Raw back in WWE. While Carl Anderson is still the open weight champion of New Japan right now, so gotta give it to him. Gotta give him credit for that. Y'all know how I am with Carl Anderson, but I gotta give the Good Brothers credit for doing that. So number 4, I got the Briscoes. Y'all know what the Briscoes are. Only thing holding the Briscoes back are the Briscoes. Their language and how they speak about things on social media and things like that is the only thing that holds this team back. This team could go with anybody. They put on banger after banger after banger with another team. This year, he said, "Isn't Jay banned?" I don't know if he's officially banned. I don't know if he's banned, but KM said Good Brothers finance the biz. Facts. And you got to give them credit for that. They're getting money everywhere. Good Brothers are getting money everywhere. They got friends in every company, so they getting money anywhere. But Briscoes, man, Ring of Honor champions, Impact champions, had a hell of a WrestleMania weekend. Like, they had 2 matches in one night. They had the Ring of Honor match with FTR, and then I believe they had to face the Good Brothers the same night. So hell of a night for the Briscoes. And just got to give it to them. They good, man. They are talented. They are real good. They're talented. Number 3, I actually gave it to the Acclaim. Gave number 3 to the Acclaim.
Look at that. Like I said, everybody loves the Acclaim.
Yeah. For the simple fact that this team started off as a joke. Like, they wasn't supposed to be who they are right now. They came out, when Tony Khan put them together, he was like, let's put something together. And they started off as a comedy act. And this year, like, the rapping, they added Billy Gunn to it. They just took off, even way before they even won the tag titles. They just took off with the fans. So just for that alone, I got to give you credit for that. And to add the fact that you are the current AEW tag champions right now. So he said, can Daddy Ass get an honorable mention? Well, I just talked about him a little bit. The Acclaim versus Swerve in Our Glory is my tag match of the year. Okay. I can't really argue with that one. The Briscoe versus the main event for House Glory tag belts. That matches everything.
Cam, yes, I agree. Yeah, shout outs to the main event, man. I've been watching them. They came to Maine a couple of times, the Limitless Wrestling. They deserved that moment. That was really dope. So
yeah, I got the Acclaim at number 3. Now this is where I really battled. With these top 2 spots. But I end up putting FTR at number 2. Oh. FTR is number 2. And the reason I did it, it was more about how AEW, how more they, I don't know, it was how they were seen on AEW versus how they were seen everywhere else. Like, it seemed like AEW wasn't giving them that proper push that all the fans kept complaining about, during the year, even though they were champions everywhere else. It just felt like, okay, AEW said go win the best everywhere else because we're not going to push you like you should push right now in the major company. And number 1 is the Usos. And the reason I got the Usos number 1 over FTR is because I'm not the type to discredit the Usos for not winning titles in other companies, because they're doing it in the most dominant company in wrestling. And right now, I mean, they just set the New Day's record. So now they have the record. They've been part of the hottest storyline for the last 2.5 years consistently. And I mean, they're unstoppable right now. They've literally ran through everybody. And again, they've done the WrestleManias, they've done the Royal Rumbles, they've done, SummerSlams and Survivor Series, and that stuff means something. in the wrestling business. I understand everybody's not gonna, go to WWE. Everybody's not gonna do this and do that. And WWE is a thing, and AEW has big things too, and all that, yada yada. But that means something to have that on your wrestling resume. And so I'm not gonna take away the fact that they really haven't lost in 2.5 years as far as title matches, or 2 years, I should say, in the title matches. I'm not going to discredit them for not winning, 6 tag titles at the same time, because they're tied down to that one company. Unfortunately, that's how WWE does it. and I look at it as, if the Usos were able to go to any other company, they would win belts there too. So they'll win the belt. They'll win a belt wherever the hell they go. The Usos go anywhere and win the tag titles right now.
Well, I don't know. I don't know that, dope.
Yes,
they always been in one company.
You know this. You know this. Stop this now. They can go anywhere else and win the tag titles just as easy as anybody else.
Well, I need to see that. I need to see that.
I doubt you ever will, sir. They are so comfortable right now. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, they're not going nowhere. But yeah, so that's my top 5. Good Brothers, number 5. Briscoes, number 4. The Acclaim, number 3. FTR, number 2. And the Usos, number 1. There we go. That's the first list down. Let's get to the second one. I don't know what order this is in. So whatever video plays is the video we're finna go over. Let's get to it. Let's see what it is. All right. The next list is the top 5 returns. The top 5 returns. You said I'm going first on this one?
Yep. You got this one.
All right. Let me find it on my list real quick. All right. Number 5. And I based this purely off of my reaction. How lit I got and versus... But yeah, that's it. I can't even say nothing else. How excited I was. That's how I based this. Number 5, MJF returning to AEW. That's number 5. When he came back, I was like, that's good to see. Glad he's back. I didn't really care for the way they did it, with the whole ladder thing and it almost looking like Retribution when he's still in the what was that, the chip at All Out.
Yeah.
So that kind of took away from it a little bit, but the fact that MJF was back, that was a great thing to see, and that was something I enjoyed a lot. Number 4, Damage Control at SummerSlam. When these 3 ladies came out one at a time, I remember we were live. We went crazy. We saw Bailey, we saw Dakota Kai, and we saw Io. What's her name now? Io Sky, and we went crazy. Mm-hmm. And I remember that was a dope ass moment. So I got to give Damage Control number 4. Number 3, even though I knew this guy was coming back because they announced it. Ty, you better get out of here with that bush. Even though I knew he was coming back because they announced it, it was still one of the greatest wrestling feelings of the year. Kenny Omega coming back was just, the way they did it, the way Justin Roberts did it on the mic, and the whole build up to him coming out, and the way the crowd reacted to him. It was just a feel good moment, man. I was waiting on Kenny to come back for a long time, bro. And he came back and instantly got suspended because of CM punk ass. But Kenny Omega coming back, it's up there. Number 3. Number 2, again, the way they did it, the way it felt at the time. Bray Wyatt coming back at WWE fan said, what's the next category? I don't know, WWE fan. These videos are randomly playing. So whatever comes up next is what comes. Whatever video you see next is what's next. Number 2, Bray Wyatt at Extreme Rules. Again, the way they did it, the way it felt, the way we all popped for it. I was at my uncle's house and Mrs. Dope went crazy. Like she popped more than I did. Just because she loved the Fiend. She loves Bray Wyatt. And she was going crazy. Like, at my uncle's house watching shit on my phone. The shit was crazy. So WWE fan, we're doing right now we're doing the top 5 returns. And my number 2 is Bray Wyatt. Number 1, Cody Rhodes. WrestleMania, didn't see it coming. I was on the stream on the podcast saying ain't no way in hell Cody Rhodes is facing Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. I didn't believe it.
You were there live too.
Yeah. I was not a believer at all. And so when I say I was shocked, I remember being there and the lights went out, the pyro ran up the ramp, and I was like, who the hell is this? And from where I was sitting at, when he started to come up, I couldn't see him. So even while he was coming up and the crowd like instantly popped, I was sitting like, who is this? I can't see him. And then they finally showed him on the screen, and then he raised up some more, and we was able to see it from where we were sitting at. And I was like, no way. This is Cody Rhodes, like literally coming down the ring right now in a WWE arena. And it was Cody Rhodes. So I mean, that's something I'm not gonna ever forget. The way that arena went crazy when they heard his lit what do you say? There's more than one royal family.
There's more than one. There's only one royal family.
Yeah, and I didn't even hear that. Like after the pyro, I was too busy looking and getting my phone. Like, who is this? So I didn't even hear that come out, and I couldn't even hear his music because the crowd was so loud. Like, bruh, stop talking about Santa Claus. If you don't shut up, you get out of here. You keep putting this. I'm not talking about that. WWE fans said Damage Control, Bray Wyatt, Johnny Gargano, Becky Lynch, Cody Rhodes. I was gonna put Johnny there because I felt great for Johnny too, but they did absolutely nothing for it. Like, that was a very good feel good moment with Johnny Gargano, but it doesn't top my top 5, which once again is MJF, Damage Control, Kenny Omega, Bray Wyatt, and Cody Rhodes. My top 5. It's on you, Dart. Hold on. I can't hear you. Your mic went out.
You can't hear me?
I can now.
Oh, God. Okay.
You were out. Like, yeah, you went out for a while.
Super. What up, man? How you doing? Thanks for coming to the show. We're doing our top 5 list right now of the year. So we're doing top 5 returns, and I'm going to start off with my number 5 pick, which was Stone Cold Steve Austin. Not only for normally an appearance by Stone Cold is just that, it's just an appearance, but we actually had Stone Cold in a return match that lasted at least 26 freaking minutes. I remember just going crazy. The match wasn't great, but it was just awesome to see Stone Cold in the ring doing Stone Cold things, and with Kevin Owens. It couldn't have been with a better opponent.
Right.
It was just the perfect way to end a WrestleMania show, just based off of nostalgia and just watching just a bunch of craziness. And I couldn't believe that Stone Cold was wrestling for that long. So I got
suplexes on the floor.
Yeah, like, so yeah, dude. That was my number 5 pick because I remember watching that match in a watch along. Actually, it was with Willie and a couple of other people actually, and I was freaking out. I was like, this is so fucking dope. Number 4, I had to give it to Damage Control because I remember being in that watch along with you and Get the Tables and Dave, and I was freaking the hell out. That was the best part of SummerSlam that year. Was the 3 of those girls coming out and confronting Bianca and Becky in the ring. It had to go on the list. I think I started losing my voice at the beginning of that show because of that moment right there. To be completely honest. But that was my number 4 pick. So number 3, my pick for number 3 was Kairi's return to Stardom. That was amazing. So I had watched some of Kairi's matches in Stardom. I found out about her in NXT, but I watched some of her matches in Stardom while she was still in WWE. And I was just like, wow, she is just completely different wrestler. She had a completely different mindset back then. This was prior to Nia Jax just trying to give her 5 concussions a week also. So, But yeah, I was just like, damn, like she was like amazing in Stardom, and then her contract expired, and I'm just like, oh, could she please go back? Could she please go back? Then it gets announced that she is going back. Then it gets announced that her first opponent's going to be Starlight Kid, and I was all in at that point. And seeing her entrance there with her old Stardom theme and just coming out, they gave her the royal treatment. She was like one of the 3 original icons of Stardom, like the 3 Musketeers, her, Io, and Mayu Iwatani. So they brought out the red carpet for her return, and it was just fucking amazing. So I got to give the number 3 spot to Kairi returning to Stardom. Number 2, I give that to Cody Rhodes returning to WWE. I thought that was a really, really dope return, and I really, really liked it. And I did kind of see it coming because I don't know, like WWE, I remember WWE at the time, they were saying a bunch of things like leading up to it because Seth needed a partner. And you would have Corey Graves say like, I don't know, like some of like his catchphrases, like what a beautiful disaster that was, or something like that. Like he'd say stuff like that on commentary. And like a lot of like journalists were just like, yeah, Cody's probably going back after this too. So I was like, I was still like excited to see it. And when it did happen, this is why it's at my number 2 list. I was still fucking lit. So I think with all of that stuff going into it, and even though they like you pretty much, they were giving you the layup of it's Cody, like even though he came on there and it wasn't that much of a surprise to me, but I was still, that shit was still hype. That entire place got so lit, and you could argue that they stole the show after that, because everything else that followed was just, it was hard. That match was so good. And you had Edge, and I think you had Edge and AJ after that too. and yeah. So,
Well, that was the next night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So my number 1 pick goes to Kenny Omega, because that was when I lost my mind. Seeing Kenny Omega come back, I legit lost my mind. I think that I spelt out Kenny Omega like as if Justin Roberts was calling it in all caps in a post on Twitter once he came back. Like I was so excited. Like this guy, he renewed my love of pro wrestling, him and Okada, when I watched their match at Wrestle Kingdom, because I was pretty much burnt out by wrestling by then until I saw that match. So yeah, Kenny is a big deal for me, and I was pretty bummed out when he took time off. I understood it, but finally seeing him come back after all that time, and we've been hearing for weeks, Kenny's coming back this week. Kenny's coming back this week. Kenny's coming back this week. You know, with this week he actually did, and it was awesome. And then we only and the other thing about that too is the amount of matches that we got from him in the Young Bucks in the 3 weeks leading up to All Out before he got suspended again was just insane. We hold on a second, because I had it up here for a second. I hope I still do. Okay, yeah. So Kenny comes back, and then we get the Elite versus the Los Ingobernables faction. So Andrade, Dragon Lee, and Rouge. Then we get the Elite versus Ospreay and the Aussie Open. Then we get the Elite versus the Dark Order at that match at All Out for the Trios belts, and then they're gone. Those were the 3 matches we got from Kenny before he had to leave again. So I was just like, oh man. So yeah, I had to give it to Kenny for that one. Like he came back, and the stretch of matches that we saw for the next 3 weeks were just fucking incredible.
Yeah, so do the top 5 in order again.
So I had Stone Cold Steve Austin at number 5, Damage Control at 4, Kyrie at 3, Cody at 2, and Kenny Omega at number 1.
There you go. All right, that's 2 lists down. Let's keep it going. Whatever's next is whatever's next. Let's see. All right, this one is the top 5 women's matches of 2022. I know Dark is doing a stream of his top matches. I don't know if that includes the women or not.
It does, so I will be out of this.
All right, well, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and give you my 5 then. Let me find it. All right, so number 5, a match that a lot of people forgot about, and it happened on live TV instead of a pay-per-view. Charlotte Flair versus Naomi for the SmackDown Women's title on SmackDown earlier in the year. These two ladies went at it. Everybody looked at it as Naomi's coming out party. And we all know what happened shortly after. Naomi and Sasha became a tag team, won the tag titles, and then walked out. So a lot of people forget about that match, but go back and watch it from earlier in the year. I think it was like in March. Charlotte Flair versus Naomi. They went at it. He said Darkness gonna have like 4 or 5 women matches being started.
If I had to, then yeah, they would all be from Stardom.
Yeah, so, and that's another reason I did my list how I did it, because I already knew. Yes, Charlotte Naomi, number 5. Number 4, which is crazy. I even got this lady on here, but I like the match. Jade Cargill and Athena. When they went at it, was it All Out?
Jade Cargill and Athena? Yes.
Or was it before All Out?
No. Because All Out's when she lost, and then she started turning into a heel after that. So I think it was All Out that she had her match.
Okay.
That was a good match. Yeah.
That was a good match. These ladies have great chemistry. Athena had Jade looking like a superstar in that ring. She was flying all over the place for her. She controlled the match. You could tell she was calling the match, and Jay was a perfect follower. She was doing what she was supposed to do in the right positions, in the right places at the right time.
I agree.
They did everything how they should have been done. That was a great match. I would love to see them do it again. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think this was by far Jade's best match that she's ever had.
Yeah,
I don't think that's even discussion. Yeah, that was fantastic. You said Cam calls Athena's heel run a mid. That's disrespectful as hell, Cam. Get the hell out of here.
Number 3, Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm.
Oh,
for the AEW Women's Championship. You know what? A lot of people been talking. You know how the rep of the women's division in AEW is they don't put on good matches and they not used enough and all that. But if you want to take the last 3 months of this year, AEW women have been putting on better matches consistently than WWE. So a lot of people don't want to admit that though, because they have this whole AEW women are this and that and this and that, and I get it. That was the rep for a while, but if you pay attention to these matches, they're putting on better matches consistently than WWE. WWE fan, let me read your comment. Britt versus Thunder, Bianca versus Becky at SummerSlam, Bianca versus Doudrop. Wow. Women's War Game, Women's Money in the Bank. Okay. Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm is my number 1, says Ty.
That's a good one.
Dynamite says cakey matches. Ty said that match was pure fire. So yeah, number 3, Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm. Number 2, I kind of got a blurred vision of this, and I want to make sure I say it right. But I remember Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb having a fire match.
Yes, that was Do you not remember this?
I remember us being live
this was when Ern joined the show.
Yeah.
And I remember this specifically because we were watching this and I was like, this is a great match.
Yeah.
And we had all been drinking.
That's why then. Okay.
And you
I couldn't remember if that was this year or last year. That's why I was like,
this year.
Okay, well, perfect then.
It was a great match, but I remember watching it and you and Ern were just like, man, Serena Deeb, though, she looking old, though. I was just like, oh, no.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a fire match. Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb. So that gets the number 2 spot for me. I couldn't remember if it was this year or last year. That's why I was like, hey.
Well, it makes sense now.
Yeah, so and then number 1, I have to give it to Bianca and Becky at WrestleMania. Because they are the match that followed Cody and Seth. I believe. And they delivered. And and a lot of people was calling it, the women's WrestleMania match of all time, and I was like, I don't know about that because Bianca and Sasha killed it a little bit harder than me as far as WrestleMania matches, but it's top 3 easily as far as women's WrestleMania matches. He said we were on that ass lizard. Hey, well, there you go. I was drinking, as Dark said. So, so yeah.
Hey, don't say we. Don't say we. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Dark said he don't want no part of that. That's not him. But yeah, my top 5: Charlotte versus Naomi on SmackDown, Jade Cargill versus Athena for the TNT or TBS. I'm sorry, Women's Championship. Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm for the AEW Women's Championship. Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb for the AEW Women's Championship, and Bianca versus Becky Lynch at WrestleMania for the Raw Women's Championship. That was my top 5. Anyone you want to add to this list or take off this list? Anything you agree with, disagree with?
So I guess I made a list throughout the year of matches that I wanted to put on my year-end for my year-end video thing. So I guess instead of going through, because I'm going to be using the videos that I'm going to use in my thing, I'll just go through some honorable mentions of women's matches that I have in here. I'll just use 5. So I guess going back to January, so the first match that I'll mention is Julia against Mayu Iwatani. This was from the Nagoya Supreme Fight event, and I gave that a 9.25 out of 10. I believe this was the match that went to a half-hour draw, and it was supposed to decide who the number 1 contender would be to the red belt. And yeah, that was a really, 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 really dope match. The next match I'll give it to was this is another Stardom match in March. This is Saya Kamatani versus Tam Nakano for Saya Kamatani's white belt. This was like Saya's first big challenge since she became the women's white belt champion, and she delivered. This ended up being, I didn't think this was going to be the best match on that card, because I remember this being a very stacked 2 nights of shows, and this match ended up being my favorite match on both nights. So I thought that was really dope. I gave that a 9.25 out of 10 as well. Next, we have Natsupoi versus Tam Nakano in the Fight from the Top event in June. This was the first event that Stardom used steel cage matches. So this was really, really, really good match, and it kind of started the precedence for Natsupoi's turn in DDM. So I thought that was a really dope. And now Tam Nakano just killed Natsupoi. I gave this one a 9.6 out of 10. What else? So we're on 3 matches right now. Starlight Kid versus Julia from the 5-Star Grand Prix. This was day 9 of the 5-Star Grand Prix. These two have a really big history of just of hate. Julia is like the veteran. SLK is like the youngin. And so Julia always decides to just bully this woman every time they're in the ring together. And that's what this story was. And it was fucking spectacular, because Julia just was relentless up until the end of the match. She at one point just ripped off part of SLK's mask, just like a true heel. We were seeing shades of 2019 Julia, where she was just the bully, and I fucking loved it. And at the end of the match, she basically, SLK is in the ring. She's crying because she tried her hardest, and then she tells her to get her broke bitch ass out of the ring to try again. Basically, I'm just like, oh goddamn, good lord, it's so good, so good. And one more match I'll mention is Koguma and Hazuki. Fukuoka Double Crazy against Black Desire, Starlight Kid, and Momo Watanabe. This was from the Fukuoka Goddess Festival event that they had in May. I gave that a 9.25 out of 10. These two had a really good run as a tag team. Did Koguma and Hazuki before losing the belts at this show. I give this a 9.25 out of 10. I think I just said that, but yeah, this was a really, really solid match. It was a little slow at the start, but near the end, it really, 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 really amped up and picked up. And I was really happy to see them put the belts on Starlight Kid and Momo, even if it was for a short amount of time. So yeah, that was those were 5 matches. And another honorable mention, Mei Suruga versus Azume for the high speed belt. That was also really, really fun to watch. I won't get into it because I've gone into detail about a lot of stuff, and we got a lot more show left, but go check that out.
There you go. Honorable mentions for the women's matches. Let's get to the next category, and let's see what it is. All right, we're sticking with the women, the top 5 women's wrestlers of 2022. Sticking with the women. Dark, I'm going to go ahead and let you start this one off.
All right. Give me 1 second. All right. So my number 5 female wrestler of the year is going to go to the red belt holder in Stardom, Siri. I felt like she had a really good run with this red belt so far. She's had some really good matches. I just feel like the chase was a lot better. That chase for the red belt in itself was so much better than her run with the red belt itself. I still have enjoyed her run, and that's why I'm putting her on this list at number 5. But I definitely think that there are other wrestlers in the company that just had a way better year. So that's about as high as I can put her. Number 4, I give to Starlight Kid. Starlight Kid at the beginning of the year was put in a fantastic spot. They gave her all the responsibility in Kairi's return match to the company. She had a fantastic 5-star Grand Prix. She won tag team gold. She won the trios belts. She held the high speed title for a little while before dropping it to Azume in a match of the year fucking contender, like a match of the fucking year contender with Azume. That match was amazing. And yeah, SOK has to be on this list for just all the things. When you really think about all the things that she did in Stardom this year, she did just about almost everything that you can think of except for capture any of the 2 big belts. So they are strapping a rocket to this woman, and she deserves it. I need to see her wear the white belt or the red belt soon. Particularly the white belt, I think she'd do well with.
WWE fan got Shotzi at number 2.
Hey, well, to each their own. So.
That just threw me for a loop. What? Okay. I don't. Okay. All right, go ahead, Dwight.
Number 3, I give to Natsupoi. She had a feud going on with her old faction. So she has been involved in a heavy storyline with DDM and the Cosmic Angels all year when she betrayed her faction of years by super kicking the faction leader Julia in the face. That started off a terrible chain of events. I think the storytelling with Natsupoi has been really good too. They're definitely putting her up into a good position in the company, and like she is now one of the tag team champion holders. So her matches have been spectacular too. So I got to give Natsupoi the number 3 spot. My number 2 spot is going to go to Julia, because Julia's year has just been sensational. Not a lot of gold involved, but she has been involved in a lot of heavy storylines. Like almost every big storyline in Stardom has her attached to it. She is kind of, I kind of want to call her like the face of Stardom. She is just that girl. And hey, Julia and Sasha Banks, we need to get that match going, because those two would have a fucking fire match. That match is the match I want to see more than anything. But yeah, Julia, also the winner of the 5-star Grand Prix. That is like, for those that don't know what the 5-star Grand Prix is, Imagine if the G1 ran for 2 months, and that's what these girls do. So, and she won the whole thing. So, I mean, even with that, just in itself, I mean, she deserves this number 2 spot. The number 1 spot, though, it had to go to the white belt holder, Saya Kamatani, because she has been the best champion, in my opinion, this year in 2022. Female, male, anything. All of her title matches have been just fun to watch. They've been great. She's had a fantastic run. All of her matches are of great quality. That's something that a lot of people don't factor into championship reigns. It's more so the number rather than the quality of the matches. For me, it's the quality of the matches that matter. That's why I think Saya Kamatani has had just a legendary run with this white belt, similar to Utami Aishashida's run with the red belt the previous year. I've really been enjoying it, and she deserves the number 1 spot in my eyes. She just has been killing it. She has been killing it. So, yeah, that is my top 5. Number 5, I had Siri. Number 4, I had Starlight Kid. Number 3, I had Natsupoi. Number 2, I had Julia. And number 1, I had Saya Kamatani.
All right. Top 5 female wrestlers for...
He said, brother, why are you pushing this Japanese wrestling agenda?
Look,
it's good wrestling. Joshi wrestling's good, man. You need to come through once in a while. I streamed the entire 5-star Grand Prix. You need to come through and watch that shit. You'll see what I'm talking about.
This is why I love the dynamic of the show, because Dark will put you on to the Japanese wrestling and to the people like everybody might not know about like that, and I'm gonna push the mainstream people that you hear about more often. So it's a good dynamic of the show to learn about every parts of wrestling. Top 5 women for me. I started with Deonna Purrazzo, number 5. She started off super hot. I know the ending wasn't really all of that, but the first half, the first quarter, first 3 quarters, really, up until this last little, whatever you want to call it, 25% of the year, she was killing it. Deonna was everywhere. Deonna was killing it and going through multiple companies, doing her thing. She was killing on the indie scene. She was killing on Impact. I mean, if there was a title out there for her to get, she got it. So, got to give it to Deonna for number 5. Number 4, Toni Storm. Toni Storm left WWE and went to AEW. It didn't start off that hot, but she ended up getting that belt, and they ran with her. Toni Storm had a hell of a title run with the AEW Women's Championship. I just hate that the whole time she had it, they called her the interim Women's Champion, even though they changed it right after she lost. But we all know she was the champion. So shout out to Toni Storm at number 4. Number 3, Kairi Sane. Got to give to Kairi because her return, I believe her return was part of Dark's returns list, right?
Who?
Kairi Sane, yeah.
Yes, it was.
So yeah.
So
and I got some more with Kairi later on, but Kairi's return was huge in Japan, and then the fact she became the first ever IWGP Women's Champion, you can't knock that. You can't sleep on that. That is a big thing. Kairi is out here killing it. So shout out to Kairi Sane, man. I'm a huge fan of hers. Been a fan of hers since NXT. So Jordynne Grace, number 2. Reason why, she's holding it down as the Impact Women's Champion, and before she was doing that, she was killing it as a digital media champion, fighting men and women and running through them all, putting on hell of a matches with men and women the whole year. You got to give Jordynne Grace props for that. Her match, what was that pay-per-view they did? Was it Hard to Kill?
Yeah, their last one was Hard to Kill. Or is that their next one? No, their next one is Hard to Kill. So I don't know what their last one would have been. Oh gosh. Oh Lord. I'll find out.
That is the next, because Hard to Kill is about to be a year around. Because I went to Hard to Kill this year.
Go ahead, I'll figure it out while you.
Yeah, I can't even remember. But her match, her title match that she had was just crazy. So you got to give Jordynne Grace props for what she's been doing. She's been doing it with the men and women. And once again, number 1, I got Bianca Belair. She's holding it down. She's making history. And, she's the longest reigning African American women's champion in WWE history, killing the game.
It was Overdrive, by the way. That was the last show that they had.
Okay. Well, it wasn't that one. It was the one before that where she had a killing match. What's the other girl name? Maybe so. But she had a fire match that we talked about.
Oh, yes. Remember her? It was Bound for Glory. It was her and Masha Slamovich at Bound for Glory.
There you go.
That match was fantastic. Yeah.
But Bianca number 1, the longest reigning African American women's champion in WWE history. She's done all the major pay-per-views of the year. The WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Royal Rumbles, you name it, she's done it, and she's winning. She's maintaining with Becky on the roster, with Bayley on the roster. I understand Sasha left and Charlotte left, but Ronda is on the roster as well. She's still holding her end. Rhea Ripley is on the roster. Rhea Ripley was very close to getting in this top 5, but I felt I just had to leave her, Mandy, and who was it? It was her, Mandy, and Roxy. Roxy got her late push. She came in strong late, but I ain't feel like it was enough to be top 5 compared to these women that I had. So my number 5, Deonna Purrazzo, Toni Storm, Kairi Sane, Jordan Grace, Bianca Belair. Let's say swept Bayley. Exactly. Dude, you don't sweep Bayley in title matches. Bayley split with everybody. She split with Sasha. She split with Charlotte. I don't remember her having title matches with Becky. But you don't just sweep Bayley. So that says a lot right there. Especially when Triple H is in control and it happened. So that says a lot because Triple H loves Bayley. So hey man, shout out to Bianca. And we'll see what's next for her. You ready to get to the next list, Dark?
Let's go.
Shit, let's see what it is. Let's see what it is. All right, so this is another one Dark is going to lay out on because he's doing his own stream. This is the top 5 men's matches of the year. We did women already, so yeah, let's get into the men's wrestling matches of the year. Let me see if I can find my list. All right, so let's start off with number 5. Number 5, I got the Bloodline versus RK Bro and Drew McIntyre at Backlash, WrestleMania Backlash. A lot of people seem to forget about that match, and they really forgot about the whole pay-per-view, and that's one of their best pay-per-views of the entire year, WrestleMania Backlash. But I get it. It's the Vince McMahon era. Everything about the Vince McMahon era, you just want to forget. I understand that. But WrestleMania and WrestleMania Backlash was fire. Horrible build-up to WrestleMania Backlash, but the matches delivered that whole show. And I remember live streaming it, live co-watching, and we talked about it on stream. And that main event was fire between the Bloodline versus RK Bro and Drew McIntyre. So that's number 5. Number 4. Did my list go out of order?
Oh, geez.
Hold on. Okay. Number 4, I got the Acclaim versus Swerve and Our Glory at All Out. Yeah, some of these numbers are mixed up on this particular list for whatever reason. But number 4, I got the Acclaim versus Swerve and Our Glory at All Out. That was a fire match. That was the Acclaim coming out party. And that's part of the reason Acclaim made top 3 or top 5 on my all-time tag team list for this year. So shout out to them for that. Number 3, I got Ricochet versus Carmelo Hayes at Worlds Collide. A match that is not talked about enough because it was NXT. And it was the death of NXT UK, which we all did not like. So I understand why, people don't want to really go revisit that premium live event. But Carmelo Hayes and Ricochet was a fire match. That was a fire pay-per-view as well. So shout out to NXT for that. And it's good to finally get Carmelo Hayes on one of my lists, man. I always leave him out barely on every list that we've done so far. So it's good to get Carmelo on the list. Number 2, I got FTR and the Briscoes in Dallas. The first match they did in Ring of Honor, WrestleMania weekend. That crowd went crazy before they even touched Like that atmosphere, man. I was there live. Tony Get the Tables was there. Speeds was there. Lizard was there, and just the whole atmosphere. And I even got a recording of Jungle Boy and Swerve coming out from the back just to watch it because that match, like, it got that hot. So the wrestlers started coming out to watch it. That main event was crazy. So Briscoe's FTR number 2. Number 1, I gave it to Sheamus and Gunther at Clash at the Castle. And I kind of shocked myself with that one. I thought it was gonna be like around 3 to 5 on that area, but the more I just typed it in and thought about it, I was like, damn, I really, really enjoyed this match. Like, even more than I originally thought, because as I was typing it, I was kind of like skimming through these matches. And I was like, damn, I really enjoyed that match. Like, when it happened, the atmosphere, hard hitting. I mean, that match was just crazy, and it was a perfect atmosphere for those two guys. So that's my top 5. Once again, Bloodline versus RK Bro and Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania Backlash. The Acclaim versus Swerve and Our Glory at All Out. Ricochet versus Carmelo Hayes at Worlds Collide. FTR versus the Briscoes, the number 1 in Dallas. And then Sheamus versus Gunther at Clash at the Castle. Anything you want to add or take away from the list?
Well, I'll add some honorable mentions. First off, Ern says, Big Ern's in here. He says that his match of the year was King Dope versus Maximus on MHC.
Yeah, you had the ref cheat your ass, boy. Them slow counts, I was whooping them.
Oh shoot! All right, so some honorable mentions. I'll mention. I'll say Kazuchika Okada on nights 1 and nights 2 of Wrestle Kingdom. His match against Shingo Takagi on night 1, and his match against Will Ospreay, especially on night 2. We had Hangman Page and Bryan Danielson 2 on the first episode of Dynamite. That was the 60-minute draw. Yep. This one is a hidden gem. This is why I loved fucking NXT UK so much. Ilya Dragunov against Jordan Devlin in a anything goes match, essentially, for the UK title. This match was awesome. This match was fantastic. Took place on the 1st this took place on January 27th, 2022. I urge everybody to go back and watch that. That was really good. This was a match that not a lot of people have seen because it happened in Limitless Wrestling. I was in attendance for it when I saw that it was booked on the card. Jonah versus Speedball Mike Bailey. This match was awesome. I got to see it live, and I got to meet Speedball and Jonah after the fact. Both really nice people, especially Speedball. Speedball is so nice. But yeah, this match was freaking crazy. And seeing Jonah go off the top rope and land on somebody, oh my God.
The whole damn ring moves, dog. Like, it's horrible. I don't know how they take that.
I was gonna say, Speedball did not move. He just took the whole thing. I was like, oh my God. That was terrible. So a match that doesn't get talked about a lot from the Supercard of Honor show, but I thought was really good. Swerve Strickland and Alex Zane. That was a really good match on that card. What else? This match I'll mention. This is definitely, I should say, my AEW match of the year. And the only reason I'm gonna say this is because I can't air it. I can't show this on Twitch because I'll get banned instantly. So Will Ospreay against Orange Cassidy from Forbidden Door, the best match I saw on AEW all year. That match was fantastic. It was so good. What else? Riddle and Rollins from Clash at the Castle. Really good match. I like that more than Gunther and Sheamus.
Really?
I thought that match was really good. Yes. But I never questioned anybody that said that Gunther and Sheamus was better because I thought that the crowd was more invested into that match for sure.
Yeah.
So I never questioned that. The Elite versus the Dark Order. I like this match actually better than the Elite versus the United Empire, which I thought that match was really good too. But I don't know what it was about this match. I just love that match more. You said the build-up for Riddle and Rollins was awesome. Yes. Especially that part about
your bitch ass family.
Yeah.
They don't love you, cuz.
And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for honorable mention.
Okay. Another honorable mention I want to add is Jonah versus Josh Alexander at Hard to Kill in Dallas.
Yes.
So I was struggling to keep that one. I was trying to fit that one in somewhere, and I just couldn't find a match to remove for it.
Actually, honorable because it's not on my. It didn't make my show of the year list, but it was a show that I was going to give an honorable mention to. But I'll do it now since you already mentioned it. Shout out to that honorable or the Hard to Kill show from this year. That was really good. That was a really good show.
A real good one. And yeah, we'll get into the pay-per-views pretty soon. It might be next, actually. Let's see.
It could be.
Who knows? Like, we really don't know, but we're almost done. We got, I think, 3 more.
Okay.
So yeah, let's see what's next. Oh, okay. I was low-key hoping that one was last. But that's fine, because I got another one that could be last, too. That'll be perfectly fine. Top 5 wrestlers of the year. Male wrestlers. We already did the women's wrestlers, and now it's the top 5 male wrestlers of the year. Dark, I'll let you go ahead and start. I just realized they didn't put in male. It was just straight wrestlers on that one. That's my fault. These is male wrestlers.
All right. So my number 5 pick for male wrestler of the year, that was going to go to Roman Reigns. Roman had a really good year as
number 5.
Yeah,
okay.
Roman has been a good champion this year. He has been a very good champion. I don't think I would put much stock in trying to find a way to phrase this. To me, Roman's biggest draw isn't so much the matches that he puts on, but literally everything else around Roman. Like literally, like the amount of presence that he has, the aura that he has on camera, all that stuff that he has, he brings to it. He makes everything feel big every time. So he has these championships. He's made these titles feel like a big deal. You know, Austin Theory was never able to cash in on this guy because he's just a megastar now. We haven't had a megastar in WWE in a long time. So that's why I put Roman at that spot. That also combined with the fact that when Roman's not on a show, the main roster shows, they start to slack heavily without his participation or the bloodline. So these guys, all 5 of these guys have just been fantastic being on the show, and they're much needed, but it's all because of Roman. So I give him all the credit in the world for that. But in terms of match quality with his title run, I don't think it's been the best. It's just been a decent title run that he's had. At most, it's just been decent. The best match that I probably saw him in was the one he had with Drew McIntyre this year that I can think of. That match ended up being a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And I think that had a lot to do with the crowd participation too. His match with and a lot of it too was Vince's fault. He was bogged down a lot with all of these Brock Lesnar rematches that Vince was just horny for. And it just good Lord, I hated all of it. But you can't put it all on Roman, but at the same time, that's the reality of the situation. So
this is interesting list where WWE fans.
About halfway through, I was like, "What? Listen." Oh shit.
Okay. Hey. All right. Okay.
So that was my number 5. Number 4, I'm going to give to Kazuchika Okada of New Japan. I think that just consistently, whenever New Japan has needed to go to somebody, they just go to this man. Sometimes to their detriment. Other times it can be to a big positive. Whatever you want to call it, Okada's just been having a great year. He won the G1 again. He's going to be challenging for the what is it called? He's going to be challenging Jay White for the title at Wrestle Kingdom. He's had some really good matches overall this year, and that's just kind of part of the case for Okada every year. This guy he never misses. Like, this is a once what does MJF like to call himself? A once in a lifetime generation talent or something like that. Yeah, like that's what Okada is. He really truthfully is. I had to put him on the list. So this was very difficult. This next guy was very difficult to put here. And the only reason he is at number 3 and not at number 2 was because of the lack of gold that he held throughout the year. But I feel like Seth Rollins is at WWE's true MVP of the year. He is WWE's best wrestler of the year, bar none. This guy had bangers with everybody. Every program that he was in, those matches were fucking fire. The trilogy of matches he had with Cody at the beginning of the year, bombed. The match he had with Riddle, fucking fire. The match he had with Roman this year was fire. But that was probably Roman's best match before the ending. Never mind. But the only person to beat Roman, by the way, that's the only person that can say that they beat Roman was Seth Rollins, technically. So, I mean, he did.
Yeah.
Hey,
he got beat down. He got beat down.
But yeah, Seth Rollins he's been hitting all year. His matches just been like nonstop, just banger after banger after banger. So, I mean, like I said, the only reason that I put him at number 3 was because of the lack of titles that he had. But he has just been killing it. And then at War Games, he just had that dope ass triple threat match, which made me think of the other triple threat match he had in 2014 with Lesnar and Cena. Like, he just keeps hitting.
He's the king of triple threat matches.
He's really good. He's really good. Number 2. So, like I said, I was thinking about it like heavily between these two, and that was what the difference was. So, number 2 for me was Jon Moxley, who has been probably AEW's MVP of the year for me. I think that Moxley literally has just been holding this kind of like he's had the company on his back pretty much. You know, like when all that shit happened with the Elite and Punk, Moxley, after All Out, was supposed to be going home, supposed to be going on his vacation. He was gonna get a fishing boat. That's what he wanted to do. All that stuff happened, and he dropped all of it. And he's just like, I'll hold this belt for a little bit longer if you need me to do that. And then after that point, when he had the belt, and they let him keep it even a little bit longer after that. Mm-hmm. His run that he had after Punk got hurt, like that interim run that he had while Punk was hurt ended up being much more successful than anybody I think could have imagined. Because nobody, when Punk came back, nobody wanted to see him take this title off of Moxley. It was very, very good. Moxley was killing it. Everybody, Takeshita, everybody that he was facing, he was having great matches on the regular, and just nobody against Jericho. So you gotta give your flowers to Moxley. But my number 1 wrestler of the year, this is now 2 years in a row that this guy for me has been the wrestler of the year, and he's just he's a machine. He's a machine. And it's Will Ospreay. Like nobody has touched this man all year. I don't care what anybody says. That's just the case. I have been enamored by more Will Ospreay matches in this year and last year than I have, I don't know, combined in a long time. Like this guy he doesn't miss. He goes out and he's constantly blowing my mind with the things that he's doing. He's coming to America and he's putting over great talent. He's having these great matches like with Nick, what was his name? Nick Wayne. This 19-year-old, still in high school and signed to GCW. He had a great match with him that ended up just like being the best GCW match I've ever seen in my life. Will Ospreay he's killing it. Right now he's the IWGP US title holder, and they've been building up a program with him and Kenny Omega, and I'm expecting that to be the first, I don't know, 10-star match that I probably see in my life. So, good Lord, I can only imagine. These two have never had a singles match in their entire career, so this match is going to be insane. Will Ospreay is best wrestler in the world. So that is my top 5, and I'll go through it again. Roman Reigns at number 5, Okada at number 4, Rollins at number 3, Moxley at number 2, Will Ospreay at number 1.
All right, there it is. Let me get my list. So my list, man, I battled with a couple of people. Because it's different reasons why each one of these people could get in there. So I'm going to put 2 as honorable mentions. But number 5, gave to Jericho.
Ooh.
Gave it to Jericho. And I mean, you just got to give it to him. At his age, he's steady reinventing himself. Put on a hell of a match against Moxley that you just mentioned. I mean, he turned back the clock. He won a Ring of Honor title. I mean, got back in shape. Looks young again. Like this man is just, and he put over somebody real big last week. Mm-hmm. Like he's steady making stars instantly. So you got to give Jericho credit. And then when all the BS was going on with CM Punk and all that, right along with Moxley, Jericho was right there. So Jericho and Moxley saved that company, basically. So you got to get Jericho in there at number 5. Number 4, Seth Rollins. Only reason he's not higher is because he did lose most of those matches that he was in. That's the only reason he's not higher. But yeah, every match has been bangers. Every storyline has been bangers. And the fact that he did lose those matches probably should put him higher too, because he's unselfish. So, I mean, Seth Rollins, he got to make the top 5, but I gave him the number 4 spot. Number 3 is the guy I've been calling MVP for most of the year. Then he kind of just fell off a little bit to move him down. Was Mike Speedball Bailey. Number 3. He started off so hot, killing it everywhere he went, winning championships, X Division champion, just going crazy, defending it every single week, putting on banger matches. And then he lost it in Impact, and then it's like Impact kind of forgot about him for like a couple of weeks, cooled him off, and then they let him have his match with Josh Alexander that kind of reminded people that, hey, he's still a beast. But when Impact cooled him off, they kind of cooled me off a little bit. But he's been out here killing it. Like he had a fire match, like you said, with Jonah. I saw clips of that from people posting it on social media, on Twitter. I haven't seen the actual match. I just seen clips. And yeah, man, he's been killing it all over he said all that for Kazarian to lose. Right. Exactly. Don't get me started on that. But yeah, Mike Bailey, number 3, killing it. Number 2, I kind of battled with these two. Number 2, I went on and gave it to Moxley. Gave it to Moxley, MVP of AEW. Once again, him and Jericho saved that company when all that CM Punk BS went down. And Mox is just the guy that you could just rely on. You can count on him to do anything you need him to do for a company. Only reason I didn't give him number 1 is because I don't know, maybe his fighting style. Like at times it could get a little like, okay, whatever. I'm tired of seeing you bleed in matches you shouldn't be bleeding in. Like, just we know you're gonna clothesline somebody's head off and all that, and I get it. But Moxley is a beast, man. You got to give it to Moxley. Number 2. Number 1, I gave it to him for a couple of reasons. Roman, I wanted to take him down because of his lack of matches. But his lack of matches didn't affect his star power at all. He said MF bled against Darius Martin. Exactly, bro. Like Mox is out here bleeding for no damn reason, bro. But Roman, lack of matches, I wanted to take him down for it. Then I started thinking about it. Well, shit, he did run through Brock Lesnar clean. while Vince McMahon was still in charge. You don't see that. You don't see that happening. People just running through Brock Lesnar clean multiple times. Ran through him clean. Wasn't the greatest of matches, but he beat Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is the guy that stopped the Undertaker streak. Like, come on now, that says a lot. He already had his matches with KO, took him out. He had his matches with Edge and all that, even though that was 21. But like Roman's run has been crazy. As far as the people that he's beating, it's just taking all day for him to fight these people, because he fight them once every 3 months instead of defending his title like we think he should. But he's making people. He rejuvenated Sammy, just like Sammy rejuvenated the bloodline. Just putting Sammy with Roman rejuvenated Sammy's career as well. The bloodline is the bloodline because of Roman and Paul Heyman. Like, and now you got Solo coming up in the mix, rising the ranks fast just because he's associated with Roman Reigns. And anybody that gets in the ring with Roman, they're instantly in the main event, just like that. And just the fight field, like, hell, that match with Logan Paul shouldn't have been as good as it was. And it shouldn't have felt as big as it did. But it ended up feeling big once the match started because it was freaking Roman Reigns. Like, nobody was like, oh, Logan Paul's going to beat Roman. No. But the match, as the match went on, it was like, well, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, fire match. You got to give Roman credit because he is the latest person to become a big star. We've been complaining about, hey, there's no more stars like Cena's, Rocks, Stone Colds, and etc. And that's the problem with the WWE. And now we got one with Roman. So I got to give him credit for that. I mean, he's held the title damn near 3 years straight. 3 years straight. And we'll see what they do next year when WrestleMania come around. But I got to give it to Roman for that. Honorable mentions, I got to give it to Jonah, because Jonah killed it in Impact after getting fired from WWE. Killed it in Impact. Then went to New Japan and killed it. Got a victory over Okada. You just don't see that a lot. So killed it there, and then made his way back to WWE where he wanted to be all along. So, I mean, hey, shout out to Jonah, man. And this is all while dealing with like visa issues and, you know, dealing with the government and all that, trying to get your paperwork and all that. And then I have to add Theory as another honorable mention, because anybody that gets over with Vince McMahon, so Vince McMahon wants to push you the way he pushed him, even though it was the selfie stick and all that gimmick, and Vince was willing to get on TV with you every week, that says a lot. Vince saw a lot of him. Then when Triple H took over, he started losing. Everybody was like, oh shit, that's the end of Theory. No, Triple H just had him losing so he could change his character and put him right back in the U.S. title picture. And he's the champ. And he became the champ by beating Bobby Lashley and Seth Rollins. So Theory has had a hell of a year. Got to give it to him. So he's an honorable mention for that as well. But my top five is Jericho, Seth, Mike Bailey, Moxley, and Roman. And there we go on that one. Let's get to the next one. I believe this one should be pay-per-views because we only got 2 left. So let's see. Top 5 pay-per-views, ladies and gentlemen. I'll go ahead and start. Let me get mine on out the way. This was the one these last 2 categories I really struggled on. But
surprisingly,
go ahead.
Surprisingly, the next category was actually a lot easier for me because I found a good website that had everything listed for me in a row. So.
Lucky bastard.
I should have shared it with you.
But yeah, my top 5. Number 5, I started with NXT Worlds Collide. Great pay-per-view. That was NXT's best pay-per-view of the year. Even though we don't like the part about NXT UK dying off, but the match quality was great the whole way through from jump to finish. NXT Worlds Collide was a good show. I hated how, again, NXT UK is dead because of it, but it was a great show. Number 4, give it to All Out. AEW All Out. Very fire show. Only reason they're not higher is because it was a point of that show where I was like, it's too many damn matches. So that's the only reason. But All Out was a very good show. Number 3, I'll give it to Full Gear. Full Gear is above All Out because Full Gear followed all the BS, and it was basically like a restart for AEW. And they showed and proved we don't need no CM Punk and all that other stuff to keep the show going. We go keep it going with our own guy, and we gave the belt to our homegrown MJF, and he's carrying it. So Full Gear was a good show, and then Full Gear didn't even feel long at all. Like it felt like a 2-hour show. It didn't feel like it had as many matches as it did. So Full Gear was a good show. And number 2, I gave it to WrestleMania. I'm a little biased with this one because I was there. But WrestleMania was a good show. You saw the return of Stone Cold, like you mentioned earlier. And he actually had a match. You saw Stone Cold give Vince McMahon the worst stunner of all time, which is probably his last stunner of all time as well. We saw Pat McAfee take on Theory. We saw AJ versus Edge. You saw Naomi and Sasha win the women's tag championships. You saw, Bianca come out with the marching band, Texas Southern marching band, and she beat Bianca Belair. You saw Cody return. Like WrestleMania was just fun this year. You got to give it to him for that.
That sound, guys. Oh, sorry. I thought I was muted.
Oh, yeah. So WrestleMania was dope, and that's my number 2. Number 1, Clash at the Castle, I should say. Clash at the Castle was jump to finish, hot crowd, fire matches, fire main event, fire mid-card title show. It was just fire. The crowd was great. The lighting in the arena was great, and I loved it from start. And I watched it multiple times. So my number top 5 once again: NXT Worlds Collide, All Out number 4, Full Gear number 3, Mania number 2, Clash at the Castle number 3. It's all yours, Dart.
All right. I will start by giving a couple of honorable mentions. Honorable mention to Noah the New Year, literally the first event for Pro Wrestling Noah and the first big wrestling event of the year. The only reason I didn't put it on the list was because it literally had 6 matches on the undercard. All of them were very mid matches that kind of hampered the entire card, but the main card itself was fantastic. Like I said earlier, Hard to Kill from Impact. That was a really, really, really good card. That was probably Impact's best card that I saw that year.
I struggle with them.
It was really, really good. Also from Impact, I put No Surrender on that card. That was another card that I really liked from them. And Fyter Fest Night 1 from AEW. This was the card with Moxley and Konosuke Takeshita and the 3-way match between Swerve and Our Glory, the Young Bucks, and Luchasaurus and Jurassic Express, where Swerve and Our Glory won the titles. There was another match on there that I thought was really good, but yeah, that card was really, really good also. But now I'll get into my top 5. Number 5, I put Death Before Dishonor. This was a show that I was at live. This was the 2 out of 3 falls match with who was it? The Briscoes and FTR. This was really dope to watch. Also, having Ern sitting next to me, because me and Ern went to this show together, and having him sitting next to me and seeing his reaction to some of these people that he's never seen before, like Dalton and the boys, it was priceless. So this was a number 5 show of the year for me. Number 4 was Supercard of Honor, because I think top down, that was the best show of WrestleMania weekend, beating out both nights of WrestleMania, in my opinion. Just watching that show, it was so good. The Briscoes and FTR again killed it for the first time. The undercard on that show was really good. You had Gresham and Bandito in the main event, where they just, it was a fantastic card. Seeing Minoru Suzuki win the television championship, it was a really, really dope card, and I really liked it. Number 3, I put the 5-star Grand Prix finals on here. This was the last show of the tournament, and they just they went out. They went out with a fucking bang. We had so many different good matches here. We had Momo Watanabe against Suzuki. We had and for some people you might not know who these are, but these are like really big matches. Mayu Iwatani versus Starlight Kid, Julia versus Suzu Suzuki, which was a real tearjerker. All this culminated in Julia winning the Grand Prix. So she had to wrestle twice in one night in order to come and win this thing. And it was a really, really dope final. So that was my number 3 show of the year. Number 2, I had Clash at the Castle. This was a fantastic show. This was hands down WWE's best show of the year. Nothing was able to touch this. When you go to England, the crowd is just it's something else. And when you had this much of them in an arena this big, man, every match felt huge. Didn't matter what it was. Seeing Edge come out, just the entrance, like he was about to cry.
Yeah.
They were singing his theme song while he was walking to the ring. That was incredible. The whole thing. I was like, good Lord. Like
that's when Dominic turned on Ray too. I forgot about that.
Yep. Yeah. Fans from England, they're the best, man. We had a lot of good matches, man. Top to bottom, that was a great card. And my best show of 2022 is gonna be Forbidden Door from AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling. A lot of these matches I didn't expect to be as good as they were too. For example, some matches on the 0 hour, they had I believe they had oh gosh, I can't find it, but they had Swerve in Our Glory going up against Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. That was on the 0 hour. I didn't expect that match to be good at all. That match ended up being phenomenal. Then it ended up getting better with Suzuki and the Jericho Appreciation Society coming out for a match against Eddie Kingston, Shoja Umino, and Wheeler Yuta. That was another match I didn't really care for. Just a throwaway 6-man that ended up being really good. That was kind of the theme for any of these matches that were on the card that didn't seem like they were going to be great. They ended up being fucking bangers. The 4-way match for the All Atlantic Championship to crown the All Atlantic Championship, that was phenomenal. Thunder Rosa defeating Tori Storm, that was amazing. Like I said, AEW's best match of the year, Ospreay against Cassidy, was also here. Shibata came out after that. Like, yeah, this was it. The show. So, I love it. Dunk said I was there with a little bias. This is also my number 1. Yeah. Shibata live, Dunk. So yeah, this was a fantastic show. I loved it. So, yeah, Forbidden Door is my top show of the year.
Okay, nice. All right, I believe we are on our last category. Let me double check and make sure. I believe we are. So let's see. All right. Top 10 moments of 2022. And I struggled, but let's get into it. I'm gonna just run mine down since it's 10 instead of 5 on this one. So I guess that's kind of cool for it to be the main event because it's 10 instead of it's an extra 5. So let's go. Bloodline swerving Sami Zayn and had us thinking that they was about to kick Sami Zayn out just to give him the honorary Uce shirt, and yeah, it just went up from there. Like Sami, the way he played that off and the way he was looking, I felt so bad for Sami. Felt so bad for him. And I was like, please don't do this, Roman, not now. And yeah, Roman was like, no, we got a new shirt for you. Jay was mad. It was funny. Jay thought they was kicking him out too.
Oh, that expression on his face, that was hilarious. Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's my number 10 moment of 2022. Number 9, we go right back to the Bloodline. Sami Zayn causing the Bloodline to break character in the ring after cutting Roman off and telling Roman that Jay was not feeling too oozy, and they just couldn't stop laughing for the rest of that segment. If you don't know these segments, please go look it up. Please, these are like 2 of the best segments WWE did all year. Number 8, Kairi Sane winning the IWGP Women's Championship, first ever IWGP Women's Champion. That's a top 10 moment of the year for me, and that makes number 8. Number 7, the Briscoes and FTR won. I'm bringing that match up again. That face off with the crowd just standing there going crazy and chanting holy shit for at least 8 minutes before they touched. That's the top 10 moment. That comes in at number 7. Number 6, Chris Jericho losing to their jobber last week. That is a top 10 moment. Chris Jericho, nobody saw that coming. Nobody saw it coming. And by the end of the match, the crowd went from chanting "Let's go Jobber" to "Let's go" whatever his real name is, which I can't remember off the top of my head right now.
Action Andretti.
There you go.
There you go.
Number 5, the Elite returning after their suspension from
Absolutely
All
done.
Out.
Mm-hmm.
That is top 5 right there. They came back. Crowd was waiting on it. They lost the match, but they came back. And now we see a best of 7 that's happening right now between them and Death Triangle. So that comes in at number 5. Number 4, MJF winning the championship. That's the top 5 moment for me because MJF is a homegrown guy. We all know what happened earlier in the year with him taking his ball and leaving basically and said, "I'm not coming back until we get this hashed out." And they apparently got it hashed out, and this man came back and he's a champ. Not only that, William Regal is the reason that he is a champ because he turned on Jon Moxley all in that same night, just for Regal to eventually get attacked by MJF later on, and for Regal to be written off TV for over a year. And yeah, this is where we are now. A lot happened in that one night, in that one moment right there. Number 3, I gotta give it to the CM Punk media scrum. Cause what the hell was that? That's something you've never really seen before.
Never.
So it gotta be top 3, even though it didn't lead to positive things, but that is a moment. That is a moment. So you gotta give CM Punk number 3. Number 2, Stone Cold versus Kevin Owens. Stone Cold coming back, returning out. I believe that was one of your lists. I think that was one of your in your returns list. So
yep.
Stone Cold coming back. I put it as top 2 moment of 2022. As a huge Stone Cold fan, I got to see this man wrestle, hopefully his last match in Dallas in person. And he was exhausted and all that. He took some bumps and he was fine. That was the most important thing for me. He got up and he was healthy and he was able to move around after the bumps he took. So, and Kevin Owens did everything he could to make Austin look great. And he bumped his ass off in that match. So, number 2 moment. And then my number 1 moment, going back to WrestleMania once again, because this is something that sticks with me and it's stuck with me the whole year. I will never forget the reaction of that arena when Cody Rhodes came back at WrestleMania. That is the number 1 moment because that reaction was just crazy. And I think the only person that got a louder pop was Stone Cold that night. And that's because it's Stone Cold, but it was neck and neck. It was neck and neck. So once again, my top 10, Bloodline swerving Sami Zayn, Bloodline breaking character thanks to Sami Zayn, Kairi Sane winning the IWGP Women's Championship, Briscoes versus FTR face-off in their first match, Jericho losing to Action Andrade, the Elite returning, MJF becoming champ, CM Punk media scrum, Austin versus KO, and Cody Rhodes returning at WrestleMania. Those are my top 10 moments. And I did it without a website, baby. Let's go.
So my top 10 moments are these are there's some good moments here.
I forgot about that. That's a huge moment. That should be number 1.
Yeah, there's some good moments here, and then there are other moments here that are gonna be like, oh Jesus, holy fuck. So let's just start. So number 10, we're gonna start on a good note. Great O'Khan. Everything Great O'Khan in the year of 2022. This man, nobody cared about him at the beginning of 2022. He saved a little girl who was gonna be kidnapped in a McDonald's in Japan and got a award from it from the mayor or something like that. Then all of the photos we were seeing of him in Las Vegas on the Forbidden Door weekend of him with strippers and riding giant dildos and all that shit, dude. Like, yeah, no, Great Okan is on this list at number 10.
There you go.
Absolutely. So number 9, I have the death of NXT UK. This was a huge deal for me. I this was bad. This was a terrible moment for me when they pulled the trigger. They took NXT UK behind the woodshed. They put it out of its misery. It was the only good wrestling product to me, like pure wrestling product that WWE had with good storytelling, and it was done. They were done with it, and they wanted to put it all together. So now we only have NXT 2.0. And
well, no, it's just NXT again.
That's right. Yeah, just NXT. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, perfect.
This man loves Johnny Gargano, man. Like these lists.
You said the Great Okan Lifetime Achievement Award. Exactly. Down. Good Lord. WWE fan. I don't know what's going on with you tonight with Johnny Gargano. Good Lord. All right. So that was number 9. So number 8 for me was Tony Khan acquiring ROH, because I remember that night that he came out and announced that he bought it, and I was like, holy shit. Like, that was huge, because at the time people were scared that WWE was going to buy the rights to ROH just for the tape library in itself. And the fact that Tony Khan came out, they did. And the fact that they actually tried to buy it. The fact that Tony Khan came out and said that he had purchased it made a lot of people more at ease. We got to see a lot more Ring of Honor content throughout the year. Not as much as we had hoped, but we'll see where this goes in 2023. So they said that they're going to be streaming on Honor Club. So $10 a month, guys. This is something that I like to call my number 7 moment is what I like to call the Big E butterfly effect. I have to get this out so I can, because this was a lot of stuff that happened. So we all remember this was a glorious moment. This was a fantastic moment. Dope, I know you remember this. So being at home, Bobby Lashley just finishes a match with Randy Orton. Big E comes down to the ring, and they announced this earlier in the day. Who knows why? But Big E comes down to the ring. He's cashing in his title.
That was this year?
Yes. Or maybe that was at the end of last year. That might have been at the end of last year, but he cashed in and won his title, right? Bear with me. This is going to lean into some terrible things. So that happened. That happened last year. So we have Big E as the champion, right?
Let me see something. Yeah, I'm listening. Go ahead.
So no, I think you are right, because this is going to definitely lean into January. So you're definitely right. So because of what I'm looking at. So Big E wins the championship before the new year. So in December, at day 1, the scheduled main event is supposed to be Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. But Roman Reigns gets COVID. And so instead of having that match pushed down further on down the road, what they decide to do is to have a 5-way match for Big E's title. Yeah. And what they did was they put Lesnar in this 5-way, and Big E ends up losing the belt only after having about maybe a 4-month run with this title. A 3 or 4 month run. It was a very, very short.
Horrible title reign.
Terrible title run. So that happens. But this is called the Big E butterfly effect. So we're not done, guys. So Big E loses the title and is booked exactly like Kofi Kingston, to not give a shit about losing the title. Goes back to being with the New Day, just happy-go-lucky. I actually, the biggest tell about this too was I remember specifically watching an episode of SmackDown where Big E came out. He wasn't doing nothing. He wasn't throwing the pancakes or anything. You could just tell that Big E was just pissed to be back in this same position. And then the next week he kind of flipped the switch and got back to where he was. But he goes back to being with the New Day, and then that ends when he's in a singles match with I can't remember what his name is, from the Brawling Brutes.
Ridge Holland.
With Ridge Holland. And Ridge Holland dumps this man on his neck, and he is out for the remainder of the year. Still out to this day. To this day. That is what I call the Big E butterfly effect. Terrible. Just terrible. I told you, we're going to get into some dark shit. So that was number 7. Number 6, this is kind of a two-parter. So this guy was involved in my number 6 and number 5 moments of the year. Number 6, Cody Rhodes leaving AEW. That was huge. That was huge. I think any other person leaving, I think still would have made some type of wave. But the fact that this is one of your founders of the companies, one of your ex or your vice presidents or whatever they were, they were given the title of, one of him leaving, that was a big deal. And for him to go to your biggest competition, even bigger. The way that he came back, his run in WWE was fucking amazing. Up until Hell in a Cell, when he had ripped I think it was torn a bicep.
Yeah.
He torn his pectoral muscle training. And this leads to my 5th moment, the reveal of his pectoral muscle at Hell in a Cell while he was like, that was crazy. I remember doing the watch along for that, dope. That was nuts. That was crazy. I could not believe that. And he wrestled the whole match, 25 minutes, and we haven't seen Cody since. That's just, I've never seen somebody do that. So many things could have been wrong. The amount of internal bleeding that was already being done in that body. Good Lord.
Jeez.
That shit was wild.
In a Hell in a Cell, not a regular match.
Yeah. Number 4 for me. But by the way, shout outs to Rollins again. Like, going through that entire match and making sure, like, he not only did he lose the match, he made sure that Cody looked good and that Cody was safe that entire time. So this is what I'm saying, Rollins, yay. My number 4 moment, Sasha and Naomi walking out on Raw. This was a really, really interesting thing for me because when this happened, I was more so paying attention to people's reaction. And I thought it was real funny how people switched up on Naomi and Sasha as soon as they walked out on WWE.
Quick.
You were seeing people saying ridiculous shit like, oh, Sasha and Naomi ain't gonna have no place to go. Sasha and they should be grateful. Oh, they don't want to do the work. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that, without even knowing any of what the situation was in the first place. And it's just like, if these guys are gonna come to you and treat you like garbage, don't take it. Don't take it. Leave. Absolutely. Know your worth. And these two ladies did. So Vince McMahon is just a scumbag. We'll get to that later. But Vince McMahon is just a scumbag. And Mercedes knew it, and Trinity knew it, and that's why they're not there no more. And now they're living their best lives now. You know? Yep. Sasha got super popular off of The Mandalorian, and they never aired a single commercial, nothing. They never promoted that once. She did that all by herself.
They didn't want her to do it.
No. It's just crazy to me. So yeah, that to me was real interesting. The Sasha Naomi situation. Number 3, Kairi returning to Stardom. This was a real big deal for me. Seeing her come back to Stardom, and her matches, it took her a while. The Starlight Kid match, like I said earlier, it was a big high profile match for Starlight Kid. Really dope seeing Kairi come back to Stardom, but getting back into that like really hard physical style back in Japan, it took her a while to get acclimated and get back to it. And I think this year, more so than anything, was a really dope story in seeing, you know, even though she was one of the greats in Stardom, she still kind of has to build herself back up. You're seeing her do that going up against Starlight Kid, Jazzy, Mayu Iwatani, Saya Kamatani. And then, you know, I would say the culmination was her match against Mayu, winning that IWGP belt, which was a perfect way to end it because a lot of people don't realize this, but Mayu's Mayu was Kairi's final match before she left to go to the WWE, and now she came back all these years later to crown the first ever IWGP Women's Champion. So I thought that was fantastic. They were both crying at the end of it. It was a very emotional match, and I thought that this year has been really great for Kairi. My number 3 moment was, I just call it the Elite versus CM Punk. Everything that surrounded that. The press conference, everything that happened after the press conference.
That was my number 3 too.
Yeah. Just crazy. Like these two, it's just the fact that I don't know. To this day, I just don't understand how CM Punk just got up there and just. I saw online somebody called it a gripe bomb. I was just like, it really was. Like, I don't know, like what else you do. He was taking shots at Colt Cabana's mother. I was like,
dude, listen,
Jesus Christ.
I said it then, I'm gonna say it again. This man was getting what, $5 million a year in his contract. So he was like, I really don't want to wrestle no more because I'm hurt. This hurts. I just want some money. I'm gonna do 1 full year, get that guaranteed $5 million, and then once that's done, I got $5 million in the bank. Bet it's whatever after this. And I feel like that's what it was. That was part of it, because you don't all of a sudden just change from this is one of the greatest locker rooms ever to
I'm working with children. I'm hurt. I'm working with children. Yeah,
dude, all you did was praise the locker room for that year. Did all of a sudden it just changed like that?
Yeah.
Nah, man, he knew what he was doing. He got that first year out the way. I got my little $5 million or $3 million, whatever it was, for that 1 year that I completed, and that's all I needed. Because it's millions. So, bye.
You finessed him. My number 1 moment had to be when I was thinking of moments, this was literally the first thing that I wrote, Dope. It was Vince resigning in disgrace from the WWE. That's what that was. And I don't want anybody to call it anything other than that, because he resigned. And you're like, oh, but Darkness. No, he retired. He wanted to leave. He was retiring. Oh, that's crazy, because I think a week ago he was trying to come back to the company. So he definitely resigned in disgrace. So like, man, Vince McMahon is just a scumbag. And I think it kind of, the worst part about this whole thing with Vince and all these, like, I don't know, like these sex scandals and all this stuff like that. Like, the worst part about all of it is that Vince didn't get fired, and he didn't get told to leave the WWE because of that. It was because he didn't clarify how the money was being used. It was just about the money. If Vince had said that these were being used as business expenses, then nobody would have cared. Nobody would have said nothing. Vince would still be here. But it's the fact that all this money is missing. That's why Vince had to resign, because money is gone. And money wasn't accounted for. And money is being used as a resource into this multi-million-dollar investigation. It has nothing to do with all the shit that he did, but more so the fact that this is costing them money.
A lot.
A lot. Yes. That's why this was the number 1 moment for me. And it's sickening to me. It's gross. That's the way the world works, though.
That definitely should be the number 1 moment, but I try to keep my list more positive with this. Yeah, that's why I just did it how I did it. And I was like, let's just talk about.
Was the budget cut? Yes.
Boy, I'm telling you. He also said CM Punk sound like a good businessman. Yeah, it's great business.
Oh my God.
Get back into wrestling for 1 year. Damn, my body hurt. I done messed up a knee. I done messed up my ankle. I don't want to do this shit for 3 more years. You know what? F you. F you. I got my contract. I won a championship. Bye. I got my replica at home. Like, bye. I mean, hey, I knew what he was doing when he did it. I was like, okay, you don't change that fast, bruh. I'm just sorry. I refuse to believe it. So he had an agenda, and then he didn't even get nobody a chance to ask a question. He just went up there and he won the match, by the way.
He started talking shit immediately. The reporter never asked a question. He just started talking. He picked the reporter out. Like, he picked the guy out by name. Yeah. Like, he knew what he was doing when he started talking. Like, everybody noticed that. They're just like, Why is he talking to this one guy? It's like he had this fucking ready.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
Locked and loaded, yeah.
As soon as he got up there, he was like, bet I got something for that. So let's see. We did returns. We did women's wrestling, or top 5 women's wrestlers. We did top 5 males. We did tag teams. That was the first one. We did top 5 women's matches, top 5 men's matches, top 5 pay-per-views, superstar of the year. Well, no, we didn't. That was part of the males. And what is this? The top 10 moments. So yeah, we covered it all, ladies and gentlemen, today. I just wanted to make sure before we, say our goodbyes and stuff. I ain't want to log off when we missed something. This is the last show of the year. So go ahead.
With all I did for my matches were honorable mentions for both the women and the men's, and that's because I'll be doing my Dark Summit. I'm going to be doing that on the dates are going to be on this coming Tuesday and Thursday. It's going to be 2 streams that I'll be doing. On Tuesday, I'll be going through my numbers 10 through number 6. And on Thursday, I'll be doing 5 through 1. And I'm going to be doing this with Max Adam. He's going to be joining me. So make sure to come and join us for that. Some really dope matches. My top, I like to put my matches together. So what you see, this top 10 list is going to be my top 10 list of the best men's or women's matches that I've seen this year. So, but yeah, hope you guys come through for that. I do this every year. If you want to go check out the past ones that I did, I have the Dark Summit in a playlist from 2021 last year. But yeah, check that out if you want to see kind of what the vibe will be for these coming streams this year, this week. And this will be like the first wrestling show stream that I've done in a minute. Yeah.
It's been a while. It's definitely been a while. So Liz, I'm glad you asked that, because that was gonna be the next question before we left. Anybody that you have high hopes for right now for 2023, even if they're not doing nothing right now, do you have high hopes for anybody outside of the usual people? I think Ricky Stark's got to be up there. The way he's ending this year, he has to be up there for next year.
I would say I have high hopes for Ricky, and I've got my fingers crossed for Death Triangle as a whole. I really hope that, because right now Death Triangle's not Death Triangle, but House of Black. I have my fingers crossed for House of Black, because right now House of Black is on a roll right now. These guys, they've been brought back, they're refreshed. I love Julia Hart's role in that group. I really like that too. So I hope that they really don't drop the ball. You said Tiffany Stratton.
Well, we got Ali and Gargano here again from WWE.
Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, man.
Let's say Roxanne and Hobbs.
Ricochet is another one that I have high hopes for. He's been booked better as of recently. So he had that really dope match with Gunther last week.
Yeah, Daniel really Garcia, not anymore. Not anymore.
When he was
he's cooled off a lot. I don't have. Go ahead.
I was gonna say this is a problem I have with AEW. They get cold feet sometimes. They did this with Jamie Hayter, to the point where if Jamie didn't win that match against Toni Storm, that would have been a big problem. I think the fact that she did, that was their last Hail Mary with Jamie Hayter and Toni Storm, because what was it at Grand Slam? I think they had Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker pretend like they weren't going to be friends, and then they just kind of hugged. And I think they should have just turned Jamie Hayter then. They should have just made her a face. But they don't like to pull the trigger on stuff like that, and they're kind of doing that here too. So AEW just
no
do that. So.
Drew Gulak, no, I gave up after this year with Drew. Even though he's in NXT now, that's something I've been asking for months. I'm glad he's back in NXT, but high hopes. I think Drew is going to end up being a coach. That's just what he is, and that's what he's good at. That's what he's doing anyway. He's pretty much coaching up younger guys. You can see Sky Blue doing good too.
We'll see.
Yeah, I don't see it. Also, Top Flight, I don't see that either. Top Flight is going to be what Top Flight is.
I agree with Lizard if Top Flight gets sent to ROH because they had a really good showing at Judgment Before Dishonor. They had a really good showing, and the crowd loved him over there. So they need to be sent over there.
Lee Moriarty.
He's been very cold. He's been very cold.
I think Athena is about to have a good year.
Yes. She could do wonders for that division. Good Lord. They need to keep her as the women's champion going in there. That's her being the women's champion. We'll see a lot of really great matches. Especially with the what you talking with that? You talking saying on to Joe Gacy?
Yeah, go ahead. Finish what you about to say.
I was gonna say her being the women's champion, like her against like Willow Nightingale or any of those girls that they bring in.
Big Bill, he can't even keep a name, so no. Like they're effing him up already with the way they're using him. He should be killing people right now. Like not in no faction either. He should be by himself, just kicking ass. Grayson Waller, Grayson Waller is gonna ball out. He's gonna be the one that beat Bronson Reed. Not Bronson Reed. What's the guy name? What's the Steiner kid?
Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker, yeah. So many damn bronze in WWE.
Man, I hope so. Good Lord, because good Lord, I can't take him. They might change Braun's name when he goes to the main roster.
There's too many damn bronze. Nathan Frazier. I mean, yeah, Nathan's will be all right. Melo is already a star. I mean, I don't know how you could really call him a breakout. He's already a star. They just need to give him the main title.
You said in 2 years, Moriarty and Page are going to have feud of the year. Maybe Super will come back to this in 2 years then.
I don't know about that. Who you think is going to go down?
Micah Whitebelt. Man, what a time to live in that. Oh, man. I would love to see that. I want to see who's going to take that belt off of Saya Kamatani, Doug. That's what I'm interested in.
Who you think is going to fall off this year?
Who do I think is going to fall off? You know, I want to see Braun Breaker fall off. That's what I want to see. I want to see him fall off. Oh, my God, bro. Jesus. Who do I see falling off?
Wallow again. I see it.
I don't know. I see, like I said, House of Black could be in that category, depending on how that goes. Luchasaurus, I don't know what they're doing with him right now. So 2023 is going to be very interesting because right now he's on the decline. So he kind of lost that match, and now we don't know what's going on. I feel like if Christian comes back, that's the match that we'll see. But then where does that leave Luchasaurus? You know what I mean? Who? Oh man. Gargano and LeRae, Candice LeRae.
Well, they already
on the decline.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They would have to get out of there. Right now they're stuck like with this Johnny comedy character, which I don't like. Like it's not good. You said the Hurt Business is gonna take over next year. Oh, that would be nice.
He's a new version of R-Truth, Johnny Gargano right now.
I don't like that. Nobody should be that except for R-Truth. You said Hook's kind of falling off right now. Hook just hasn't. The problem with Hook is that Hook hasn't had a real contender. They keep putting him in these small squash matches, and they need to evolve past this now. That's the problem with Hook. That worked for a while, but now they need to stop playing it safe. They need to do an actual match with him. You know what I mean?
Von Wagner is not the worst of the year. I'm pretty sure I could think of somebody else that's worse than Von, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's somebody else. Where do you think Dijakovic is going next year?
What do you mean? Like,
do you think he's actually going to get his chance to do something again? Or is it just going to be a hot start, maybe, because they're trying to work him back in now, and he's done by mid-year?
I think he's going to be in NXT all year at least.
Well, that don't mean he's going to be hot the whole time.
Yeah, I didn't say that either. I just said he's going to be in NXT. That's all I'm saying. because it's going to take a lot for him to get back to any type of promise. Look what they did with that's somebody who I think is going to be on the decline. The War Raiders, the Viking Raiders. Like, this is what I was talking, and that's what I'm thinking about with Dominic. Like, look, they tried doing these packages with the War Raiders, but where are they? Like, it's just terrible.
Yeah, Liv is definitely taking a step back. Liv is definitely gonna be one that takes a step back next year, in my opinion.
That was a terrible. Oh gosh, yeah.
Hit Row, I think Hit Row is already on there. Even though they won this past week or 2 weeks ago in that triple threat match, but they lost to the Usos last Friday. Yes, I think Hit Row is going to take a fall. I'm trying to think. Elias, I think he's going to fall off a cliff in 2023. I hope I'm wrong about it, but I think Elias is just going to be done by the end of 2023. Any surprise champions you think going to happen next year? What young star can surprise us? Or somebody that's never been champion before. They don't even have to be young.
I think we might get a surprise title win from Ricochet. I think we might see Ricochet win a title and I don't know, start something off for himself. Like, I think we might actually get to see. I think people might actually get to see why having a Ricochet on your roster is a very big benefit, rather than seeing him take all these crazy bumps. He said Ali. I don't know if we're gonna see an Ali run. Right now, they're treating this man like garbage. They literally threw him off of Raw into SmackDown 1 week.
Well, he's winning on main event, and he's still talking about the U.S. title on main event. So he's keeping his storyline alive.
You said Hayes beating Gunther for the IC title. That'd be interesting.
You think Cross is going to stay hot?
Cross carrying? Yeah, I mean, right now they're building him up with Mysterio. I mean, I need to see where he's going past Mysterio. I don't know who you book him past Mysterio. That's the thing, man. Have you been excited to see any of these matches with him?
What, Cross and Mysterio?
No, just Cross in general.
No, because I don't understand like exactly what his motive is right now. Like, why he just randomly picked Rey Mysterio and was like, "Hey, you're next, TikTok." Like, what's the
TikTok? He's running out of time.
Drew McIntyre just smashed your head through a damn car, and that kind of just went away afterwards. Like, what was the payoff to that?
That's what I'm saying.
Because was it a payoff? I don't remember if it was. Was it a payoff to that?
No, I don't think so. But
he went back to having jobber matches, squash matches, and now he's going after Rey Mysterio all of a sudden, who Rey is still dealing with his son and Rhea. By the way, I got a photo of Rey with Rhea that's pretty interesting that I'm gonna share after the stream tonight.
Oh boy. Carmelo Hayes beating Gunther for the IC title. That would be interesting. I think Starlight Kid might. I'm just gonna put this out there. Starlight Kid getting the white belt next year. I just want to put that out there. I think that'll be a really good title that changes hands, and I think that Starlight Kid would have a great run with that. So where do we see these two guys next? Do we see them back in AEW or WWE? Miro and Andrade.
Well,
I hope Andrade goes to WWE. That one's easy. Miro, his whole thing is just so interesting because apparently he's upset. He did not want a job to certain people. Is what the story that's out. So, which hasn't really been confirmed, but that's the story that's out. Was that Tony had a plan for him going into Full Gear, and Miro didn't want to do it. So that's why they've been kind of stalling with Miro. So
I told you Lana was on Busted Open a few months ago, and she said that he feels like he shouldn't job to certain people because he know he can whoop their ass in real life, and it needs to be more believable.
There you go. And that would
his wife said it. So
I was gonna say, well, that would coincide with what's happening. So you said Miro gonna probably end up elsewhere, stay in AEW. Even if he doesn't go to AEW, he's been like the reason why there's another reason why he was off AEW so much is because he he was filming for a TV show that's on ABC. So, I mean, he's starting like some type of acting career too. So he could be doing that, but I don't know, man. They got to do something with him, man. This is just, it's crazy that they have this guy and they're not doing anything, because the run that he had with this TNT title, that was the best TNT champion we've had. So it should be a no-brainer that you get this guy back on as quickly as you can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just don't.
Miro as AEW's Brock Lesnar. I mean, that's not crazy to say.
Could be. Man, get out of here, King. This guy here. But all right, I just wanted to see if we got any shockers. I think Carmelo might come up to the main roster. He'll be IC champion or US champion by next Survivor Series. So, and does Mandy Rose come back next year?
No, not next.
How many? But I think she is. How many budget cuts are we saying, and can you name them for next year? Because they got to come eventually. So Triple H first budget cuts. Who you see in that list?
I would put Hit Row on that list.
Damn, he just got back.
They ain't do nothing, bro. Like, do you see the positions that they're being put on weekly basis? They're just getting thrown onto a card just to lose. I would definitely throw Emma on that list. More so than Hit Row, actually, because she has just been useless. She's been in 3 matches, lost everything, been in nonsensical backstage segments where she says she has a boyfriend. It's like, okay, like, yeah. I would definitely put Emma above everybody, actually. If we're getting rid of people. Sorry, Emma. To the moon.
Wow.
Dude, I don't know, but yeah. Who else? Who else is not great there? I
think Dana Brooke is gone.
I forgot she was even there. I keep forgetting that she's even there. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I want to say some people from AEW, but I need to see what they're doing with Ring of Honor. So,
yeah, I think Triple H first budget cut list is going to be a list of smaller, lower card guys. It's not going to be like no shockers like we got with Vince and them. So I think like the Dana Brooks are in trouble. I would say Tozawa, but they starting to use Tozawa more now. And Tamina's just not going nowhere. Just her legacy alone is going to keep her there. But people like Dana Brooke is in trouble. I'm trying to think of somebody else in the women's division because he's low key trying to use everybody right now. Omos, they might send him back to development, but I think they're going to keep him signed. But it's not looking too hot for him either because they've tried everything with him and it's still not like getting there right now. Aaliyah, yeah.
I don't know. I think Omos is gonna stay only because I think we're probably gonna see a reformation of the what is it called? Hurt Business, and I think they're gonna try and add Omos to it.
They need to.
Which I think having, I know that they have him and Lashley have a history, but I think that MVP is probably gonna play middleman. And I think that would actually, I think having Omos in the Hurt Business would actually add a lot of more seriousness to that group, which is needed to that. I think that would give it a big boost because this team has not been treated properly since the end of the pandemic. So,
well, I mean, they're not a team right now.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if they brought them back together as a team, I think that would be much needed. So,
Aaliyah's injured. Aaliyah's always injured. Liz thought she's still trash. Legacy, meaning her name, King. Tamina has a name and her family name. Them Samoans are real good with WWE, buddy. It's just different. Los Lotharios, I'm nervous about them.
Oh God, Jesus, you haven't seen them on TV in forever.
It was on that last week just to lose. So I'm nervous about them. American, well, now they need people like that. But yeah, I can't think of nothing off the top of my head. We done a lot tonight, so let's get up out of here. Appreciate everybody coming through. In our last episode 2022. Appreciate everybody that's been joining us. The ups and downs this year. I might do a supporter of the year, Budget Cut Podcast supporter of the year. And I might send you a shirt. I think for this year on my end, if it has to be one, unfortunately, it has to be this punk that's talking about Go Pack Go. But he's been in every single stream, so King will probably be the one that's called the supporter of the year for the Budget Cut Podcast this year. But if he keep talking shit, I ain't sending him nothing. I'm gonna just let you know that now. Lacey is canceled. No, they repackaging Lacey yet again.
No. He's talking about. Did you not see what she did with her kid for Halloween or something?
No.
Oh, did you not hear about that? Yeah, okay. I'll tell you after the stream.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Well, I mean, but okay.
Oh, yo. Oh Lord. Her daughter was a werewolf.
Why?
But she used like black face paint or brown face paint, I should say. Yeah. But Lacey didn't see what the problem was.
Okay. Well, she blackfaced her kid, says KM. Wow. Yeah, I definitely didn't see that. It sounds like she could be in the perfect tag team with Nikita Lyons.
Yeah, that's
all I'm gonna say. So her and Nikita Lyons might be tag team champions pretty soon.
Cake in the USA. That's what they'll call that team.
There you go. Because and then Raquel might be the third partner of a faction.
Oh Lord.
For him. I mean, should we keep adding people to this list? Zoe Starks might join him and be the
stop. Hey.
Call them the good sisters. The proud sisters.
Proud girls.
The proud girls. There you go. The proud girls, ladies and gentlemen. So
oh shit.
Yeah, man. Let's get out of it because we finna get in trouble now. The end of the year. We're gonna end the year in trouble. So
don't forget, next week, Tuesday and Thursday, the Dark Summit will be here. My top 10 matches of the year. Make sure to come and check that out. So you will like it. If you guys have not, if anybody here that doesn't watch a lot of Japanese wrestling too, this is the perfect way to get into that and just watch the best matches that happened this year that you wouldn't have been able to watch anywhere else. We'll see some great matches from New Japan, Pro Wrestling Noah, Stardom, WWE also made the list. No AEW, no Ring of Honor, because I don't want to get banned. So
you know what, man? You might not get banned from what I've been seeing. Me and Pusha talked about this. I'll tell you off stream, but okay. they are. It's a lot of people coming back with those type of streams.
Oh my goodness!
And they doing it live. Like me and Push was like, now wait a minute, if y'all go do this, y'all need to let us come on back now. And like we'll talk off stream.
Okay.
Rhonda don't believe Sandy Hook happened. And see,
she needs to be fired. Then she needs to be fired. They fired. What's his name? Oh, actually, they rehired him. So never mind. Brian Kendrick. They fired Brian Kendrick because he said the same thing in a interview like in 2010. Oh Lord.
Well, I ain't see. Yeah, see, I almost said something bad. It probably would have got us canceled. So never mind.
Yeah, we got to get out of here.
Yeah, let's get on out. Make sure you following dope content on social media. Really YouTube and here, because I post stuff on YouTube and here all the time. I got some exclusives coming this week for the memberships, for the members. It's gonna be like basically what the members is gonna be. The membership is gonna be like personal stuff that I wouldn't share everywhere with social media. It's just stuff that you see. You know, you get to see the family more. You get to see like things that we doing around the house that's normally recorded just for us. You know what I'm saying? I got a special gift for Christmas, which I kind of exposed that already on Twitter, just being excited today. But you'll get to really take a look into it as a YouTube member, because I'm actually do a deep dive into that this week and all that, man. So yeah, man, if you want to really get to behind the scenes of dope content and all that, how I operate, how we run this whole thing here, YouTube membership is going to be the way to go. It's even cheaper than Twitch. It starts off at $2.99. Come on now, $2.99 is nothing. $2.99 is nothing. So, and King gifted like 6 people $2.99 gifts last week. So shout out to King for that with his punk ass. But Tuesday we'll be back. We'll be back with the Dope Sports Podcast. I can't wait to talk about Dark's whack ass Eagles taking that L, ladies and gentlemen. He did all that noise wearing the Eagles hat last week that nobody asked for. We was talking wrestling. He come bringing the Eagles hat out of nowhere. He turned the whole damn background green and shit just for nothing. Nobody asked for that type of energy, and look what happened. A perfect Christmas gift. They took that L. And now I got Eagles fans on my YouTube stories, on my YouTube shorts. They all on my Facebook. Oh, but Jalen Hurts didn't play. And I don't give a damn about who played or not, because the last 2 times the Eagles beat the Cowboys, guess who didn't play? It was Dak Prescott. When Dak Prescott, I'm being full Michael Irvin mode Tuesday, and Tony's going to get sick of me. I'm going to be spitting on the mic. You know how Michael Irvin be doing. God damn it, the Dallas Cowboys. That's gonna be me Tuesday. That's what I'm about to be in full Michael Irvin mode come Tuesday, because they coming with all these excuses, dude. When I say my phone to this point right now, I'm looking at my phone.
I've been booing your ass this entire time.
I don't care. I'm still getting Facebook notifications. All these excuses. Oh man, Jalen didn't play. And your teams, we still almost won. Cooper Rush played week 6, and we still almost won. Ain't nobody talking about that, though. Y'all act like y'all won a Super Bowl when y'all beat us. You know what I'm saying? Week 6. So now all of a sudden the tables turn. Y'all get that same karma. And then as far as, the Eagles still move the ball. It's the number 1 team in the league. You're supposed to move the ball. And the Cowboys are missing 2 of their top 3 DBs and their starting middle linebacker and a powerful edge rusher. But y'all want to talk about that. Y'all just want to talk about Jalen Hurts missing. Eat a dick. I ain't trying to hear none of that, all that excuses that you're talking about. You took that L. Dak Prescott owns the NFC East. I ain't got shit else to say. Come holler at me Tuesday morning when me and Get the Tables go at it, because I'm going to rip his ass up too. He better hope them Tampa Bay Buccaneers win tonight, and they struggling right now with the weak-ass Cardinals. So let's go. I'm going to be lit. Let's go.
13-2, baby.
Don't give a damn about none of that. What that mean?
13-2, baby.
What that mean?
13-2, baby.
We're one of the 2.
13. Hey,
Undertaker was 21 and 1. Everybody talk about that one though.
13-2, baby. That's it. That's all good. Hey, we had to take an L eventually. It's all good. 13-2, baby. That's all. We good.
Wrong time.
We good.
And see, that's my thing. I respect the Eagles. The Eagles are good. Eagles are very talented, and they are a threat. They are dangerous. But the Eagles fans, that's been all on my oh man, that's been all on with this. I was like, bro, when we lost,
you know what? As an Eagles fan, let me tell you something. I blame all of you for the way that we are, because we get so much hate on a daily basis.
You deserve it. Eagles fans are ass.
This is what
dude.
I
posted a clip. I posted a clip. No, it's not even a clip. It's a page called Eagles Nation. You know what he posted after they lost? He posted a picture of Dak Prescott and said, "I'm glad your mom died. I'm glad your brother died, and I hope you lose your other brother."
Damn.
Eat a dick,
That's
Eagles
crazy.
fan. This is the same Eagles. This is the same crowd. No. We're not talking about you. We're not talking about you. We're talking about like the hardcore, typical asshole Eagles fans. We're not talking about people who speak logic like you and what's his name that come through, Jay Cross and what's the Philly Webb and all them. We're not talking about them. We're talking about the dickhead Eagles fans that seem to take over, like EDP, who blew up on YouTube, fucking pedophile.
Come on, don't do
as
that.
As an Eagles fan.
Don't do that.
Eagles
don't
fan. It's funny. That's the Eagles fan that blows up. EDP, that's his name, by the way. Do you want to know what that stands for? Do y'all know what EDP stands for? Just think about it. And that's the number one Eagles fan on social media. Yeah, all right. We're gonna leave. All right. Like I said, all the Eagles fans flock to him, but you wishing death on the dude's family because you can't beat him. Yeah, Liz say I already know. Exactly. You wishing death on the dude's family because you can't beat him in a game. Like, come on, bruh. They trash. These are the same losers that cheered when Michael Irvin broke his neck on the field and had to retire. It had to be carted off on the stretcher. The motherfuckers cheered. They cheered. That's when I started hating Eagles fans. On that day, when Michael Irvin landed on his neck on that AstroTurf, that little brick that you called turf back in the day, and had to be carted off the field, and he at the end of his career had to retire early, and they cheered. Like, man, get out of here. You throwing beers and snowballs at Vikings fans for no reason. You're throwing beer at 49ers fans for no reason. Just because they at the game.
Miami and New York.
No, that was Philly.
That was recent. Are you talking about recently? That happened just the other day with the Miami Dolphins and New York game. That wasn't Philly.
Oh, I ain't no. We ain't talking about that. I could pull up, I will pull up highlights to back up anything I gotta say. Anything that I say, I got video proof. I promise you. I'm not gonna say it without having proof. Because everybody like to be like, oh, you didn't see this, or you was wrong. Fuck you. I'm right. And I got proof because I'm gonna make sure I have proof before I say something on stream and put it out there. So like my homies as Eagles fans here, oh man, this and that. All they've been doing, they was pissed off all last night. I'm like, why you arguing with me, bro? All I'm doing is celebrating the victory that we needed after losing to the Jaguars.
Yeah, you did need it. You're right. We didn't though. That's what we gave it to you. We hey, congratulations.
Here you go. Here you go. You didn't give. You tried real hard to be giving somebody something.
Jalen wasn't playing though. There's a reason for that though. Say, hey, we tried to hook you guys up. We knew you needed it.
Really? You think? Look up Jalen Hurts' record versus Dak Prescott. I'm just saying. Tell me how many games he won.
I'm just saying.
Tell me how many games Jalen Hurts won against Dak. I'll wait.
Who's been playing in the league longer?
No, I don't care. We're talking about head to head. We're talking about head to head. Forget because if we want to go back in the day, Dak is 8-3 total. We're talking about head to head Jalen Hurts versus Dak. How many games have Jalen Hurts won?
Yeah, but Jalen wasn't really playing like that yesterday.
I don't want to hear that shit. It's still Jalen Hurts versus Dak.
We needed to let you into the playoffs. We need to get you in. You're welcome.
For what? Y'all didn't even win your first game last year in the playoffs. You got whooped by Tom Brady.
Well, hey, we don't have to worry about Tom no more. Hey, biggest competition's out the window. Oh, yeah, Tom ain't doing nothing. I think Tom is washed. I think that's something that we can both agree on.
I hope so.
That man needs to stop playing.
He say Dak attack versus LT.
You said ask Dope. King says ask Dope what Dak's record is against Aaron Rodgers.
Tell King to bring your bitch ass back to my chat if you want to say something to me. How about that? Don't go to Dark's chat to talk shit to me. Bring your punk ass back to my chat. Now let's talk about your Packers record. Period. Right now, how many wins you got?
Oh man.
Yeah. Don't go run into his chat to talk shit over here.
Damn.
Bring your punk ass back.
The last 10 minutes of this got really violent, really quick.
Yeah. I'm sick of all this BS, man. I've been hearing, dude. I got attacked by a random. I can't even say this. Yeah, we'll probably get blocked. But yeah, random Eagles fan today, just on a post, and he was like, he's the rainbow, and I'm like, who are you? Why are you talking? You know what I'm saying? Like, but he was actually cool. We ended up being cool at the end of it because he's one of the guys that respected. He took his L, and I told him in week 6. I was like, hey, I took mine too. I showed him a clip. Here you go. This is me on the podcast. We lost, no matter who played. And I was happy Cooper Rush lost. So he say L streamer, yeah, because you talking about why he read my name. Hey man, don't go over there hiding. But anyway, good show today. Last show of the week, last show of the year. We had to end it like that.
Hope you guys enjoyed it.
I don't see too many people disagreeing with our list, so I'm pretty sure I guess we got good lists.
I think we nailed pretty much everything. I think that's the best thing about having two different perspectives is that if one person missed something, we got something else. So let's see if Jalen Hurts come back next week, because you still got the Vikings on your behind right now. Oh goodness!
So you're still playing
the
for
team
something
that I've been worried about. But,
I mean, if y'all end up matching up with them, y'all will kill them again. But as far as like maintaining home field throughout the whole playoffs, they somehow, some way are still on your behind because they keep barely escaping these games. So like when they played us and when they played y'all, we destroyed them. Both our teams destroyed them. So we know what it really is when we match up with them. But D-Well say, now you're looking forward to the podcast. Well, that's the whole goal right there, D-Well. Because I'm telling you, full Michael Irvin mode, my guy, it's finna be. I'm finna get on Tony nerd. Tony finna turn red. Especially if Tampa Bay lose tonight. Tony go turn red. Tony might walk off. He might not even be on the podcast no more after Tuesday.
Oh shoot.
That's why I'm gonna be with it.
Oh,
that's where I'm at. I've been waiting.
Let's go Bucks. Hey, I'll be rooting for you. Not really though, because Tom's on the team. But
there you go. There you go. But yeah, man, you got anything else you want to promote before we get up off here?
Nope. Well, just one more time. Tuesday and Thursday, Dark Summit, top 10 matches of 2022. Make sure to stop by. I'll probably be doing them in the afternoons. So just make sure to come and watch that. I have all week off next week, or this week. So this weekend,
yes,
next
sir.
week.
Yes, sir.
Shit. Yes. Wrestle Kingdom. Me and Max will be streaming that live. So 3:00 in the morning, my time. I'm going to be taking a nap before, and then I'll be up the entire fucking show. Like it's going to be like 3-4 hours, but I'll be streaming that with him. We're going to be doing that on the other account, 55 Dark Avenue. So if you want to watch Wrestle Kingdom, Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay, if you want to see that live, come and check that out over there. And I will keep a replay up so you can see that as well. So
there you go, man. Fire show. Appreciate everybody that support us through another year of the Budget Cup podcast. 2023, I plan for it to be super lit and take it to new levels. So yeah, I've been putting in some type of plan to make it even better next year, but we're slowly growing. So let's get into it, man. And until next time, man, y'all have a good one. We are out.
Situations at the door, so when you step inside,
Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Jingle Bell. Hey, good to see you, baby. Hey, man, I feel good. Hey, y'all, everybody, Merry Christmas, looking for Pinky Knuckles.